Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and welcome indeed. We're live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. I forget to say that, but Monday through Friday, there's a good chance that between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., we're probably here, and you can see us. And if you miss that later in the day, you can find us on YouTube under the same exact name, Tom and Dan Live.
Yep, and on Twitch, you can listen live, and you can listen in between the breaks.
I've been doing this in my car. I've been sitting at the old supercharger watching Tom and Dan. Boy, that is narcissistic.
We record all like the ACTs and the AMTs on Twitch.
Our commercials, our intros, everything.
Yeah. And then in the breaks, we will talk to each other off air, but that's recorded on Twitch, so you can listen to everything.
And then the coolest thing you can see is that when we go to break, you'll see me get up and run to the bathroom, and I'll talk all the way to the bathroom, even shut the door. I'm still talking. I'm still talking to everybody. And Sam and Tom will sit here, absolute silence. Not saying we're not looking at each other.
Me and Sam, silent time.
So still, in fact, that you'll be like, my screen froze, and you'll type it. Did anyone else's screen freeze? and
then I type, I'm here.
Yeah, and then Sam will type, but she's a still typer. Just moving the tips of her fingers, not even moving her arms. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. We do have a guest.
Mo DeWitt's here. How you doing, Mo?
I am here. Ooh, that's a big one today. Had a big breakfast.
Injured on the go, just call Mo. He is our lawyer. He is our legal counsel.
I don't think he likes it when we say that. I think he would prefer if we just have him in and we're like, hey, Mo's here. He's like, just keep it at that. Let's just keep it at that.
Don't mention I'm your lawyer.
Yeah, a little bit of distance.
So speaking
of that. This is an arm's length relationship, I feel like.
We've got some listener questions, but
they are horrible. Wow, these are bad people.
But I feel like I've got some questions for you, Mo.
About
my
and
own
you're more
personal,
important than the listeners.
I mean,
there's a reason we do this, and what do they do? They sit around, they're listening to it.
Yeah, they're listening to me. Right? So,
stand down, stand by. Whatever. The thing. The thing. You know, the thing.
So, Mo, my son's birthday.
Don't call him a sir, Mo. He doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that. Plus, did you know that he hates it when his wife calls any other man sir? He wants to walk over there and he wants to slap the man's face and then he wants to hold her down and passionately kiss her.
No, it's just about my wife. I don't like my wife
showing respect to other men. Yeah. This guy's an insane person, Mo. Arm's length.
Where did that come from?
That was a delayed Mo.
So, my son's birthday is coming up, and every year, and Daniel can testify to this. But
testify, I like that. Pun intended. Yeah.
Every year, either for Max or Tommy, we usually rent a inflatable slide.
So many slides
for my backyard.
This guy is single-handedly.
They gotta be sick of the slides by now.
They are. They are sick of the slides.
No.
But they think they have what he has, where they think they're going to disappoint him. So he'll be like, "Oh, I'll give you the standard, right? The birthday cake, the slide," and they'll be like, "Okay, we'll take the slide." Same thing that he does.
Every kid likes a slide.
Maisie's outgrown it.
No,
Maisie told me that. I'm like, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" And she's like, "I want to volunteer and I want to learn about world geopolitics."
So we rent this slide, and now I have a smaller backyard, Mo. I'm on the other side of town.
Tight property lines.
Yeah.
Tight lines.
And so I only have a tiny square of grass.
The chat checking in, is this Tom asking about liability for a bounce house again? He asks this question every summer.
Yeah. Where it's the summertime.
Well, this is a little more because as things.
More. What do you get? A mechanical bull?
No, as the kids get
older.
On
the kids going.
Well, this is it has to do with liability, but. So as the kids get older, the slides get bigger, and the problem is my yard doesn't get bigger, so I have to
That sounds horrible, by the
creative.
way. If any other show, they were like, as the kids get bigger, the slides get bigger, I'd be like, you get the hell out of here.
And so now I'm at the point where I call the slide rental company, and they ask me,
sorry, sir, your postage stamp size yard won't cut it for the big boy slides.
They're like, do you have a 10 by 30 foot area to fit the slide? And then I'm like,
Lord, man.
Yes, I do. Now, technically, I'm lying a little bit. Okay, we're just
but there, you just need to lie enough to get the van out there. There's no way they're taking it back.
That's it.
This is why we're partners.
Because
set it up in the coldest.
Well,
they also employ old teens.
Yeah.
And
old teen and old Mexican men.
yeah. But the old teens are never going to bring back the slide.
No,
Plus, the transaction's already done.
Yes.
So, okay, and when they show up now, technically, if I go into my shrubs and
you're gonna make the kids get into the shrubs?
No. You push the
measurement.
back. You push the back of it into the shrubs, not the landing strip.
How do you climb up?
Because the
rope ladder.
The inflatable slide will push my shrubs over.
Yeah. It'll bend them good. It'll bend them real good.
And technically, the slide is touching my pool enclosure and the wooden fence, right? And
you want to push more on the fence, less on the enclosure. But that enclosure was expensive.
But it's inflatable, so it doesn't have to be like it'll push into like.
It's like the stuff you put in a flat tire. It's only going to fill what it can fill.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So you don't need the full 10 feet. It'll just push gently.
It'll be like a 8 3/4 feet.
Against my pool slide. Now, so my question is, Mo, when a child, falls into the shrubs or into the fence.
It took me a year to get Maisie back on one of these slides because didn't you ride down with her and you ballooned her into the trees and you blew her?
What?
Yeah. He injured
inevitably,
her.
the adults get drunk and they go down the slide.
And then you go
inevitably.
Yeah. And then you gotta,
it's inevitable.
Then you gotta
can't stop it.
It's an
Mo,
unstoppable
you might just want to
force.
leave now.
Yeah.
And then the unstoppable force of an adult's knee going through a child's sternum.
So when one of the kids falls into the shrubs or into the pool enclosure or whatever, because they
always do that move where they're too hurt to cry.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like they're holding their breath. Yeah, stunned.
And so when the kids' parents go to sue me, because
and then your wife is like, "I'm sorry, sir," and you're like, "Did you call him, sir?"
And then I'm like, "I don't know. The company set this up. I don't know. I play dumb, Mo.
It
because
was
that's
the
what
teen
I'm
and
good
the
at playing
Mexican.
dumb." I'm
Playing?
my whole life in my career, I played dumb. Like anytime the police ask me questions or I'm just like, I don't know why they just put it here. And then the company's
the chat room wants to know how you continue to rent these inflatable devices. Didn't your son break his collarbone on one of these?
That was my own inflatable device that I actually purchased myself.
Oh my God.
And
not a professional girl. That was that's
it was the Fisher Price bounce house. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Anyway, so how good of a defense is playing dumb?
We'll find out.
Because is the company, because when the teens go to set it up, they say like, I don't know if this is the right dimensions.
You still want me to put this here?
But then I give them like a 20 or I cash app them a 20 and then they'll set up anything because they don't care. They're just like, whatever, this is some part-time job. I don't care about the owner of this place or whatever, so they set it up. So technically it's the teens' fault and the company for even setting the thing up.
I mean, I haven't had the privilege of renting one of these things yet because my son's not old enough. But I'm assuming that you're probably signing waivers left and right.
I don't think you're trashy enough to rent one of these.
We'll find out.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that, Mr. Not Trashy. I don't think you'll rent one.
They have awesome, like really expensive
some,
ones, but I get the
you get the standard.
the one that has inflatable palm trees.
Yours always smells a little like vomit.
Next legal question, Mo. So when I'm setting off fireworks in my cul-de-sac, because I did think about this.
I mean, do you want to ask him the one that you were concerned about with the neighbor's kid?
Yeah. So
this one I'm actually a little concerned about too, because this happens every single year. Because who wants to be left out? Little kids, they don't want to be left out. They see everybody else out there having fun and doing the sparkler and doing the swords. And
so I'm handing a sparkler or a flaming sword to some stranger 5-year-old that just wandered over with bare feet that's a neighbor of mine.
Yeah.
And then I hand him the sparkler. Now, this didn't happen, but let's say he burns his feet real good. Like he just points
Burns
the sword straight at his bare feet.
And just blows his toes.
Yeah.
I mean, black.
Third
like
degree.
like a hot dog on a grill.
Yeah. Now, technically, we're standing in the cul-de-sac, international water. I don't know if you know
that's
this.
what I call that. The international water of subdivisions is the cul-de-sac.
I'm not doing this in my front yard. Like I'm getting away from my property.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
in fact, you are adjacent to and putting on the appearance as of living at your mother-in-law's house, which I feel like that is the ultimate slide decoy.
But it's not even like when I hand them the sparkler, it's in the street. Like we are on. We're not in anybody's property.
Exactly.
We're on the street.
It's like selling magic tickets with a pencil. I sold him the pencil, not the magic tickets. Those were free. They came with the pencil.
Yeah.
This reminds me of being in court. If you ever seen The Sovereign Citizens?
We love those people. Yeah, I'm only putting my window down 1 inch.
The law doesn't apply to me. It's international waters. It's the cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think. That's what I yell at my wife when she's like, "This is dangerous." I'm like, "International water."
We're in the cul-de-sac, baby.
Not in water.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is Castleberry's fault.
You're more than welcome to walk over to our property line, and then you'll have some jurisdiction there. But right now, where I'm at, game on.
Castleberry should have never developed their land with enough area to set up fireworks.
Exactly.
Because they should have known their residents.
And if you
were
float
trash.
into Castleberry International Waters, you're gonna find some Castleberry firework pirates. They're out there.
So, who's liable for that, Mo? When I hand a stranger a firework and he burns his feet off?
Well, technically, I mean, as the adult, typically you're going to be liable if you're the one controlling the fireworks. Anytime
What if
a
you have the
child,
mentality of a child?
What if I'm too drunk to know what's
that's
going
even
on?
worse.
Oh,
What if
I
when
thought that
handing
better.
it, I say, "Goo goo gaga, me baby"?
Oh, that's only with signing contracts. Yeah.
But I mean, typically, anytime a child gets injured, it's not going to be good. They're going to look for liability, and typically juries are more sympathetic to children. So if you were to get sued, they'd probably
What about
side with the
ugly
child.
children?
That's a different story.
Right?
Well, that's ridiculous.
I feel like if they're not attractive, so you can only hand your sparklers to ugly kids.
because their parents were sitting over there and they saw me hand the sparkler,
did.
so it's like I'm like, "Hey, you're cool."
Did you get an eyeball? Did you get an eyeball nod like it's fun?
Why not hand it to the parent to hand to the kid?
That's a good idea.
Their kid wants
Pass it off. Pass off
That's a good
liability.
idea. Hey, I'll gladly walk a sparkler over to that one mom. I'll
Right.
tell you right now, she should have been standing out in the cul-de-sac.
So what about if I damage the property of my neighbors by setting off fireworks
Well, you
again
did.
in international
Well,
water?
you didn't. Dr. Gould shot a mortar at his own front door and almost blew his window out.
Yeah.
Have we talked about that yet?
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about that Friday? Can't we talk?
no, we
I'll
can
cut
talk
that
about
out
it.
if I need to. But
No.
Sam.
They only know the
Oh,
radio.
he blasted it good. It almost blew the picture window out. Oh,
no.
man.
So, because technically, it's not
All the kids went running.
like I blew the fireworks straight up into space.
You did really good this year, man.
But the wind blew the
parachutes, the flaming parachutes.
Yeah, the
yes.
flaming hot garbage onto my neighbor's solar panels.
Yeah,
And
right
I-
onto the solar panels too. It
It's
was
international
burning.
wind. It's not my. I blew it straight up. And it's the
Wait a
wind's
minute.
fault.
International Wind is a John Anderson album, I believe. Blow, blow, international wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again.
So is it my
It's a good-ass
fault?
song.
I feel like Mo's like, I'm gonna get the hell out of
It's
here.
always your fault. Let's just establish
Yeah,
that.
It's always my fault.
Look, I'm not an idiot. I see Mo go on the shows, and I know that we're the dessert show. We're the silly show. All the other shows,
Okay.
you get your
Oh.
footage, and it's good footage.
Oh.
And I watch, I go, they're good. And then I watch ours, and I'm like, oh my God, we're dumb.
But can you be liable for damaging your neighbor's property with fireworks?
I mean, you can. The problem typically is, I mean, first of all, usually there's not a lot of damage. But then if there is damage, trying to figure out where it came from is usually the problem.
Oh, that's
Because,
a
everybody's
loophole.
shooting fireworks off. You don't know whose firework that is unless you saw it actually happen.
Oh.
Typically, you wake up the next morning, you see burn marks on your roof or something, and you go, I don't know who the hell did this.
What if my wife posts a video on her social media?
Yeah,
I'm
and-
like, babe, you're burning the neighbor's roof.
That's proof.
And in the background is a suntan van. It's like the only one of its kind.
And then
And it's flammable.
And then she puts the camera on me, and I'm like, I'm drunk.
What
That's
do you
bad.
want me
Right?
to
That's
do?
direct video evidence.
And then
Good
shaky
evidence for
video
a loss.
of your face, and you're holding a sparkler, and the sparkler is illuminating your face, and you're like, "What do you want me to do about you, bitch?" You're like, "Whoa, delete that."
And then I'm wearing a pirate sponsor. I got a legitimate question, Mo.
Yeah,
So
finally.
Can't wait.
So, okay, this...
Mo's looking at his phone when he gets out of here.
no. So, okay, everybody heard about, like, the Lake Eola panic that happened, where everybody
Is
ran...
that what we're calling it?
I don't know.
The Lake Eola panic?
I called it the Lake Eola Stampede.
So,
Oh, my God.
I like Stampede.
So,
Yeah.
I legitimately thought about this.
I think it's a female football team here in town, the Lake Eola Stampede.
So obviously it was caught, like someone thought they heard something and then people started running, which created a panic and everybody started running and people fell down.
I don't understand. And this is not me victim blaming. What I'm just saying, I don't understand how you can't not hear fireworks on the 4th of July. Like you're at a fireworks demonstration.
Well, if someone's setting off some like black cats or whatever.
No, I
like,
get it.
You know, and
No,
then they're
I-
like, wow.
I get it.
Everybody's paranoid. Anyway, so I did think, I'm like, well, if someone pushes down your Meemaw or something in the panic, I mean, stampedes and like people getting trampled happens and it's super dangerous, but someone gets hurt because of that. Is there any liability or negligence or responsibility for, like, could you do anything? Is there any recourse for injury in that scenario?
So, I mean, typically, kind of like we saw with the, what was it, Travis Scott thing, typically they're going to go after the event organizers. They're going to say there wasn't enough security, there wasn't enough, preventative measures taken. Because when you get down to kind of the nitty gritty of this person pushed that person, it's too hard to figure out what happened, right? It's just massive chaos. So usually on the liability front with those kinds of cases, they're going to go after the event organizers, in this case the city, if there was shown that there was improper security or they didn't have proper, precautions in place, basically. Now, of course, there's always the issue of how did it start? And if somebody knowingly, yelled that there was a shooter when they knew there wasn't, then that's a crime. It's just like yelling fire in a movie theater, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not protected speech, obviously. However, if it was just they legitimately thought there was a shooter based on the fireworks going off, then, yeah, they were mistaken and caused all this, but it's not a crime necessarily.
And hard to, I would imagine, prove that the city was negligent when the crowd
It's a
started
wide
this.
open space.
Right.
It's not
you know,
necessarily
I mean-
like it had nothing to do with how much security it was. It was like there's a bunch of people in a crowd. People panicked, started running. No amount of security could really stop that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be very difficult in this kind of situation. It wasn't an issue where there wasn't enough medics on the scene or there wasn't enough security. It was just a mass chaos,
Panic,
stampede,
yeah.
whatever you want to call it. And they've done this event for 20, 30 years at this point. There's never been really any issues. And so, it was just kind of a fluke that this happened.
Now, the way I understand the law working, if this happens a dozen...
In international waters?
Oh, no, well, I'm saying if this happens a dozen more times, then
Right.
after the 13th time, then you can have a track record of saying, hey, you're negligent because you keep doing this and it keeps happening, right? Is that kind of...
Yeah,
like-
I mean, obviously that goes to evidence showing that they were on notice that there could potentially be an issue, and they failed to take action to help prevent a future issue. So it'll be interesting to see, will they try to gate off Lake Eola in the future and have security checkpoints? Or are they going to leave it the same? Again, I think it's kind of difficult to know how to prevent this. I'm sure you could get a security expert who would tell you. But yeah, the more it happens, obviously, the more liability there is.
And so, and this next question I thought of, like, this kind of is the opposite of the last time you were in here, Mo, and I was talking about the Tracy Morgan Walmart truck lawsuit.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking, what if the opposite happened and someone like a homeless person gets hit or injured by a Walmart truck? And then, like, the person, like, let's say, hasn't had a job for 15 years and been living on the streets or whatever it is, and he gets injured, and, legitimately, the Walmart truck was negligent, so, like, there's a case there, but then the homeless person hasn't had a job, and, what could he possibly sue for? I mean, I know there's a baseline of something. Like, you can't just say, oh, well, your life is worth nothing or your injuries are worth nothing because you don't have a job.
You also wouldn't say, we're going to give you the same sum that we gave Tracy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because we have no other precedent here.
Yeah,
So
is there like a
good question.
baseline of, like, even if you make no money, you still deserve $25,000
we'll pay
a
for
year?
your lunch.
Yeah,
We will buy you lunch.
How does that work?
Well, I mean, in any case, you're going to outline what the damages are. So you have your medical bills, you have your future medical bills, you have your pain and suffering, you have your lost wages or potential lost wages. obviously on Tracy Morgan versus a homeless person, the homeless person's wages are just going to be less, if anything. So you may just have the other elements of damages as part of that case rather than, Tracy Morgan obviously had a huge amount of lost wages because he was a high wage earner.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've told the story before of there was this wasn't my case, it was a buddy of mine's case. And there was a Road Ranger truck that was in like a Best Buy parking lot or something. And was jumping over the medians. He was just bored jumping over the medians where the bushes
like
are.
So much fun. My God, a government job would rule.
And there was a homeless guy sleeping in one of the bushes.
Oh no! Oh my God! That's
and the
a
Road
nightmare.
Ranger truck just ran over his legs, broke both his legs.
Oh, okay, he didn't die.
He didn't die.
That's good.
But my buddy got this call from this seemingly kind of crazy homeless guy who was in the hospital who was like,
"A Road Ranger drove over my goddamn leg."
Exactly. And so he went to the hospital. He's like, his legs are actually broken. So he investigated, and there was actually a Subway across the street that had a drive-through. It was one of the few Subways with a drive-through and had a camera that caught everything on camera. And the guy was like, yeah, he was actually injured. And I think he got like $300,000, $500,000, something like that. I don't remember the number. But ultimately, that was set up into a trust for him to kind of take care of the homeless guy so he didn't go blow it all, basically.
Yeah, he would.
But there, obviously, his wages would be a lot less. It was mainly based on his medical bills, his future medical expenses, and his pain and suffering.
Can you imagine how terrifying it would be? You're laying there with just nothing but the voices in your head talking to you. You're laying in a retention pod, and you hear woo, and you see a Road Ranger
sleeping in the bushes,
and that truck's heavy because he's got the gas on there, and he's got the hoses on there, and all the road cones, and he just cranks over your knees.
I like how they
blowing your feet right off. Oh God!
The Road Ranger's like, let's run over these bushes.
Hey, I'm bored.
Why would you do that?
I'm bored. You want to go? Let's go ride over some bums, man.
Let's finish with the listener question, the boring listener question.
Yeah. I don't know if we can top that. That Road Ranger one was gold.
I'm sorry you have to go through this, Mo.
Yeah.
Because
I'm prepared.
Every time Mo comes here, it's like going to the dentist.
I worked for a local company for 11 years, and recently the company was bought out by a billion-dollar company. Shortly after the transition, I got into an accident in a company vehicle. The company took paperwork and a ticket from the accident stating that he had to pay the ticket, company policy, and they would be taking it out of a future check. I quit the job shortly after. They never paid the ticket, and my license was suspended. When I paid the ticket and was fixing they informed me that the company vehicle was showing it was not insured during the accident and that I would need to either pay $6,000 to reinstate my license or have the company fax information stating that they were insured. Took company 10 days to send information. Now companies in my industry won't hire me purely based on the license suspension being on my record, and the insurance would be too expensive for me to be on board and a liability. Is there anything I can do? And then he
this is a good
number.
question.
It's too complicated.
No, this is a good one.
Don't you want the international firework water?
I did
no,
like
that one's just you're an idiot. You're liable.
International firework waters is pretty awesome.
Yes.
It doesn't beat no bum in the bushes. It's fantastic. Bum in the bushes makes me smile. That's just a natural smile. That's a happy Wednesday, bum in a bush.
On this one, we'd have to look at what the company's policy was, either their handbook or the contract, as far as who was supposed to carry the insurance, all that kind of stuff. If the company was actually supposed to carry the insurance, they were supposed to pay the ticket, it was in writing saying that they were, then potentially you could have some sort of lawsuit against them for, impairing your future ability to gain employment in that field because they didn't do what they were supposed to do, because that would be what the damages were.
This is going to take a minute, though.
But it would take a minute. And it would really have to be in writing. They'd have to be organized enough to have it in writing. It couldn't just be, oh, yeah, we'll take care of the ticket. There's no documentation to that effect, and nobody followed up with it, and now obviously it's impacting
so
this
no
person.
quick fix. Get your dates and your stuff organized. Gather your evidence, and get going. Make some calls.
Yeah, but I mean, for other people out there in the future, if you're ever in a company vehicle, it's always important because your license is the one that's going to be attached. If you get a ticket, even if the company says that they're going to take care of it, you want to make sure they're actually going to take care of it. Now, this person, if they were injured in the accident, they could also have a workers' comp claim against the company, assuming they carry workers' comp insurance, which they're supposed to. So that's a whole other issue as well. But, I know a lot of people out there drive company vehicles.
Yeah.
If you get a ticket in that vehicle, it's against your license. And if they don't pay it, just like here, your license, the ones that gets suspended. So you want to make sure you follow up with that.
oftentimes I dealt with this with Champ Sports, where it's the parent company, Foot Locker, $1 billion gigantic company. But the people that run the store, they're bad. And then you're like, how is this happening? And you're like, oh, it's the local people that run the stores that are making these mistakes, don't know what's going on. And then you think like, oh, how does this $1 billion company do this? But you're like, oh, it's the the
when
local
it gets
manager.
all the way down to the single cell organisms.
It's amazing that they even open the doors. It's crazy.
You showed up? Wow, all right.
So, again, Injured on the Go, just call Mo, the DeWitt Law Firm. Mo, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Sorry for the dumb questions.
I think most people think yours was the dumbest.
Huh?
I think international.
No, that one was the dumbest.
I think the dumbest question was international firework waters. I think everybody's feeling that way.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We are joined by, is he the tallest member of the Tom and Dan Mediocre?
Is Bus?
I thought it was the R team.
I thought we're not supposed to say that. Okay. Is Kenny, we're joined by Kenny Samsel from Two Moofs podcast. Go to twomoofs.com. That's TOO moofs.com, right?
TOOMOOFS.
Yeah, there you go. And Kenny, are you the tallest member of the R team?
No, I think Sam had it right. I think Bus is a little bit taller than me.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'4", but I think Bus is 6'5".
Yeah, but Angel Rivera.
He's 6'5".
DJ Angel Rivera is 6'6".
Oh, but he's not part of the R team. We can't.
No, we can't
He's
do that.
distanced himself.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
yeah.
is.
He's too cool for the...
He's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, welcome to the show. Good to see you. I like your shirt.
Thank you very
It's
much.
very psychedelic.
Now, before we get into anything, we have to talk about the last time Kenny was here and the awkward walk to Publix.
Yes, the walkward.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I did too, but someone in the Twitch chat reminded me.
Yep.
So what did you think was happening, Kenny?
All right. And
So first of all, like,
Did you hear
let's
me?
reset.
So can you reset
Yeah.
what
That's exactly
actually-
what happened.
So what happened though? Like, I don't know
So
what.
Kenny was trying to leave.
Okay.
Like a normal
yeah,
human.
okay. So I'm leaving, and then Tom's like, oh, hey, hold up. I'll walk out with you. Because I'm thinking...
No, hold on a second. He never does that with me.
No.
I'll be like, anybody need food? He'll be like, I'd like to walk alone, please.
I'll walk
I'm like,
later
God
by
damn,
myself.
man. I was like, easy. And then
Well, he was
I'll
like-
walk with you. I'll be like, no, please don't. I'd like to be alone with my thoughts.
Like, so I was...
I'm a loner, Danny.
I was about to be out the door, but Tom was like a few steps behind me. I'm like, all right, I'll be nice. I'll just, leave the door open for him. So he's walking out with me, and Tom and I are just walking. I parked on one of the parallel spaces, just only like a couple of cars ahead.
Okay.
But Tom and I kept walking and talking, and we walked past my car. But Tom doesn't know that. Tom doesn't know my car. So we just kept walking. We get to the intersection where he needs to break away to go to Publix.
And he's going to cross the street.
And we finish our conversation. And so I like do a 180 and just walk back to where my car is.
Where are you going?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, I thought we had a connection here.
Yeah, now, did you hear me explain, Kenny?
Yes, okay.
So when I said I'll walk with you, did you assume, because this is what I thought, you assumed that I was going to talk to you about some serious topic or business or some sort of like, hey, can you close the door for a second?
Yeah,
Let me speak
let me speak with your private.
No one ever says, hey, can I talk to you for a
can make
second?
you a big-time podcasting star if you'll,
Every time,
get on your knees and beg.
every time someone tells you, hey, can I talk to you for a second? It's never like, what do you want to eat for lunch? It's something serious. Like
Yeah.
if it gets,
But I don't think you said that.
No,
I think you just said, I'll walk out with you.
Yeah, you never said
See,
you wanted
you
to talk.
overthink everything. Now you think he thinks there's a meeting happening. He's just walking out to his car.
What do you think people think of you? Like, you must think that as soon as you walk out there, people are like, oh, my God.
Tom wants to
Oh,
talk
that's
to
Tom
me."
Van. Hey, everybody, that's Tom Van. He wants to talk to you. Oh, my God, he's walking out with you. Oh, my God.
So here's a wacky
Don't
time.
blow it. Don't blow it,
I'll be
Kenny.
the new butler.
You're walking out with Tom Van. Don't blow it.
Here's a wacky concept, Tom. It's called being nice.
He is nice. He is nice. He's just awkward.
I know, but it's like when you were walking out with me, I wasn't thinking, okay, it's time to talk shop. Got time to, get
well,
to
why
the
did you
brass
say I'm
tacks.
parked over here? Because we
Because
weren't.
he's letting you
we
know
were
what
small
direction
talking.
he's going. No, he's letting you know that
Because
if
you
he
probably
veers...
launched into some damn conversation
yeah.
he thought he couldn't walk away from.
No, I was just small. I was like,
Finally, I got Kenny alone. I can pick his brain about some stuff.
I'm not going to be rude and just be like, oh, Tom's in the middle of a sentence.
This
and
is
be
like
like, nope,
Fish
we're done.
Sandwich Part 2, man. This is like
It
Fish
is.
Sandwich Part 2. You're the crazy one, crazy the whole time. Inception. You're the
Hashtag
weird.
walkward.
You're the weirdo. It's walkward, man.
Because I'm only small talking as we're walking to not make it awkward, so it's not silent walking, us walking side by side.
But you do that with me.
How about when you walk out with him, you say, hey, where are you parked? So you don't waste his time.
When he walks to Publix with me, he walks 5 feet ahead of me like I'm some old wife. I walk behind him like, I slow down. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you mad, Jerry.
Because
you were walking to Publix and then you're dead silent.
No, well,
and I feel like if I say anything, you're like, shut up.
No, my steps are longer. So you're
look at that. Yeah, double down, and hurt me more.
Well, and
hurt me more. Put the knife
like,
in and twist it, you mother.
It wasn't just like oh, hey, thanks for coming. You know, let's talk again sometime. It was like, hey, let me tell you about my vacation in my RV.
You went into your vacation, bragging about your vacation.
I like myself.
We know.
So,
is there anything you'd like to ask me, or anything you'd like to know as I walk you too far from your car?
Is there anything you want to know about my vacation?
Any questions?
I'll now open this walk up to questions with yes, Kenny, a question for Tom as I walk into my car.
So, Kenny, what's been going on? What are you doing?
So I realized that when I first started coming in here, it was a lot of stories about my wacky entertainment past.
Yeah, those dried up. What the hell?
So I just I got a couple of quick ones for you.
Okay, good.
So there was one of them. I think one of the weirdest experiences I had was with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, I love them.
They were great. They were awesome to work with. Except,
did you work with the guy with the extraordinarily long ponytail?
Oh yeah.
That guy.
And there's another one with like a lot of dreads.
Yeah, he's a little effeminate. Like there's a guy that plays in Earth, Wind, and Fire, and he has a long. What's the guy? The genie from You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me. He has like a long genie ponytail. he has a huge.
Is his hair receding?
Yes, his hair is receding, and he has a Ming the Merciless, You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me ponytail. And it is weird, man. When you're in your 70s and you have a jet black genie ponytail, suspect.
So the weird thing about them was they wanted to get paid in cash. No checks, no wire transfers, cash only.
James Brown was like that.
So I had to go to the bank and literally, like I was robbing it, had a backpack full and like transfer $20,000 in cash into a backpack.
And then you had to sit there with a man with a jet black 7-foot ponytail, counts every dollar.
And I'm sitting there and I'm putting the backpack on the front, that way it doesn't accidentally like spill out in the back. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get robbed. I'm going to get like completely, at knife point, get $20,000 in cash taken from me.
Knife point. I can run from knife point.
Well, you're making yourself a mark at that point, Kenny, because when I looking around for people to
you
rob.
got the backpack in front of you and you're shaking.
The person that's hugging the backpack, I'm like, there's something valuable in there.
Well,
nothing valuable out here.
That's the one I want.
Yeah, and I had to drive from the bank to the venue, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, go the speed limit, stop at every red light, because I didn't want to get in an accident, didn't want to deal with anything. It was one of the most paranoid I've ever been.
That's a lot of dough.
Because the cops will hassle you if you have $20,000 in cash, and there's some weird law where they can literally confiscate that from you if they think that you have way too much cash or there's something suspicious, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
There's been people that had their stuff confiscated just by having too much cash on them, which is not against the law.
Apparently it is.
But it was a crazy loophole where they suspect something, and then it's hard to get back, and it's a pain in the ass.
I think normally, because on cops for years, it was like the way the equation went would be like, oh, what do we have here? Oh, a wad of cash. Oh, what do we have here? Drugs. And it was just like that every time.
Yeah.
So I think they just assume, which is not right. I'm not saying it's right, but I think that's just
and it can't be like, no, Mr. Ponytail Man needs this. Like, I don't know how to prove him otherwise.
So can't you tell Earth, Wind, and Fire, you're not getting paid in cash? We're going to get
Earth, Wind, and Fire, baby.
Because also our accountants are going to be like, where's this cash going to? Then we have to pay the taxes on it.
Right.
Don't you know how the IRS works, Earth, Wind, and Fire?
But unfortunately, they have all the cards, because if we say you're not getting paid in cash, they'll be like, well, we're not playing.
Well, just put wind up there.
Can you call the IRS and be like, I paid them in cash? Because that's what I would do. I'd be like, they're trying to, because that's the only benefit.
Earth and Fire demanded cash.
The only reason you want cash is so you don't have to report it to the IRS. There's no other reason, because then you put
Some
yourself
people
at
like
risk.
to spend it now. Like some people don't want it to clear.
Well, and let me
Well,
say,
they don't want the IRS to know.
right. No, I'm with
Yeah.
you, but they'll say other reasons.
it's
like,
also hard because this was when they're already established. But I can see a lot of people wanting to get paid in cash because I'm sure they've been given checks before by promoters and venues, and they bounced. So it's more of like a trust issue.
it's a guarantee that the money is actual money at
Yeah.
the time.
Well, you can get a cashier's check. Well,
I
it's not going
understand.
to bounce. I know. It's an old school thing. Pay me in cash, but. I mean, believe me, I want to get paid in cash. I've thought about, but I think it's trashy, telling some of our sponsors, like, hey, if you pay me in cash, I'll give you a 10% discount. but I was like,
I mean,
that's
I'm
what pawn shops do.
I mean, it is. You know?
But it would be beneficial to us because we don't have to report it.
Whatever happened to the hardcore
Oh, I was
pawn guy?
telling that. Huh?
Remember that show, Hardcore Pawn?
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed that show.
It dried up when the whole pawn
yeah,
thing.
the whole
everybody's
pawn
like,
bubble burst.
People are like,
You know the best thing to come out of all those pawn shows? Chum Lee got his health. He got his health back.
So, Kenny, when you go and then give Earth, Wind, and Fire the $20,000 in the backpack,
Yeah.
do you pour the $20,000 out, or you
Onto
just,
a brown hotel bed.
or do you just give them the whole backpack?
No, you give them the whole backpack.
Oh, okay, you just
Yeah.
keep the backpack.
Well, here's the
Do
thing.
they instantly unzip it and open it big and stick their head in there and look around and go like, okay.
So, I mean, I'm not giving it to the actual band members themselves. It's like their production manager or whatever. But so the 20,000, that's like half. We've already given them
$40,000. That's not worth it. That's not worth it. My God.
But and it's one of those where if we were cool enough to give them cash, they're cool enough not to sit there and have to count it in front of us. So they just sit
Yeah.
there and they trust that.
My
it's
dad
there.
told me that was rude. We'd go on these like sham like deals, and my dad would get an envelope of money. I don't know what he was buying or selling. It was probably like the beginning iterations of Craigslist or some sort of deal, and he'd get the money, and he was never shorted, but he'd always wait until we were back in the car, and he'd put stuff in his glove box, and then he'd get it out while we're down the road, and he'd start counting it.
Yeah,
He didn't want to count it in front of the guy, because the guy would be
Yeah.
like, "Are you calling me a liar?" He has to pull his gun out in front of me, and I see him gun down a man or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All that for Frogger arcade machines.
They were Pac-Man and Space Invaders.
And by the way, I think by
Oh,
us
Frogger, they did have Frogger, though.
by us joking around about bringing a gun to Craigslist deals,
That's what people do.
that
Yeah.
people have now then started bringing guns to Craigslist. You don't need to do that.
People did that from the beginning. You didn't start
Yeah.
that.
No, I know, but I feel like
Or just, make the deal in front of a police department.
yeah, like at the Walmart, and you're trying to sell a boogie board or whatever.
Yeah.
Like no one's gunning you down or stealing your 80
Depends on
bucks.
what you're selling.
Yeah. Anyway, so Earth, Wind, and Fire. So you give them the money, they don't count it, and
Yeah, and it's one of those you give them half up front, they play their set, and then when there's 2 songs left.
Did they
then
play September?
Oh, of course they did. They ended with that.
You know that song, right? Yeah. Do you remember?
oh yeah.
No, but they were cool.
As popular on TikTok, right?
is
Yeah. Do you remember Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting. And then I had another question. Have you guys ever gotten starstruck with celebrities? I know you guys meet them all the time, and especially in the
Yes.
radio biz.
Sometimes in my dreams, I meet myself and I'm in awe.
I saw Don Shula one time, and I
yeah,
wanted to
this
punch him in
guy.
the face. But that was my.
I think that's the opposite of starstruck.
No, but that.
No, it was the most sincere form of love that Tom can give you, is to want to punch your old face.
That was the most starstruck I was, but that was the feeling I had. It's
Yeah.
kind of like when
Why?
I see more successful business women, I
You-
want to expose myself to them.
You want to pull your pants down.
You need to get help.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do that. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
he's not
that's a
gonna act
feeling.
One
on
day
it.
you will, though.
I won't. I'll never do it.
He'll do it on his deathbed. He wants to be buried that way. He wants to be buried in a casket with a hole in his pants.
But it's like I don't know how to express my emotions, so that's how it comes out. I'm like Don Shula, oh my god, and then I immediately wanted to punch
Yeah.
him as hard as I could.
It's like in Ghost. If you don't know how to say "I love you," you say "ditto."
Exactly.
It's just whatever your love language is at the
But
time.
Sam, you said yes, that you have been starstruck?
A handful of times.
By the
yeah.
way, I was there when you met Don Shula, and
Yeah.
oh my God, they wheeled in that corpse. Holy moly, that guy. He was a ghost when they brought him in
it's
there.
only
Come
somebody
on.
I really highly respect. If it's you could be the most famous person in the world, but if I don't care about you, then I won't get
Gotcha.
starstruck.
So, and in my times, I know I've told you stories about Ricky Martin, Snoop Dogg.
Enough of the Ricky Martin story. I only get starstruck
He
if
was KFC,
I
right?
only get starstruck if I think you can do something for my career.
Well, so the only time I think I've ever been starstruck, and I sounded like an idiot, was Sheila E.
Oh,
You
the
know,
drummer for Prince.
Glamorous Life. And
Yeah.
everything. So I grew up listening to her, loved her, and
She was hot.
Oh my God, she's
Like, who doesn't like a woman in lingerie playing the drums?
Yeah.
That was like a thing in the 80s.
Oh my God, and it's so weird. I don't know, like
Good drummer, too. Really
females
good drummer.
who can kill it on drums, like, are just so attractive.
You
to
know
me.
what it is for me, since I'm a drummer? It's not the drummers, it's a female guitarist. I
Really?
met that. What's that? Starts with a U or an O or ornithonia?
Oh, yeah,
I met her.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, she's little.
Oh yeah, but and here's the thing with
Or maybe did I meet her or met Shakira? Anyway,
But so Sheila E, she's aged so wonderfully as well. Like, she's in her 50s or 60s now, and she still looks stunning.
brown don't frown.
But and I got to meet her because I was talking to her tour manager and just telling us, like, yeah, when I was 6-7 years old, I loved her music, and I got to meet her, and immediately I was just a bumbling idiot. I'm like, I'm such a fan of your, and I'm like, it was the most unprofessional I've ever been working with someone, and of all people, Sheila E. And I think she just looked at me like I was probably a moron.
I was weird. I was a little geeky to Scott Weiland, but that was only on the phone, and he was kind of jerky back to me, or maybe he was being playful. I like to think that he was. He does that all day long. It was nothing. It's passing. I'm taking it more negatively than it was intended.
Yeah.
And I'm sure celebrities over years and years of experiencing this are so used to it that this is a common reaction to them. And
I'm sure, yeah.
They're not weirded out by it. It probably doesn't even move the radar. It's
My dad,
this is what reaction.
I just felt it was unprofessional because I was working the concert and then I was acting like this. It'd be one thing if I was a fan doing like a backstage meet and greet or something.
Yeah. That I've always said, if you're in the environment of the production company or you're working there and you ask for autographs or pictures, it's unprofessional.
My dad was in Savannah, Georgia, on the slippy steps, where you take the underground, where you take the steps down. And Mom and Dad were going down the slippy steps, and my dad had a really good memory, like almost photographic, like for names and people's faces. And so occasionally he was wrong. And he looked over and he goes, "Oh my God, it's Merle Haggard." And my mom was like, "Oh my God, it is Merle Haggard." And my dad runs over and he's like, "Mr. Haggard, Merle Haggard, can I get your picture?" And he's like, "Yes, you may, but I'm Merle Olsen from Little House on the Prairie." You'd have to look the guy up. Big, tall guy. He was like kind of like a stoic. He's an ex-football player, Merle Olsen. And an actor. I filed that under dumb old man knowledge that I know. But yeah, he was, and my dad mixed it up. But my dad, somewhere there's a photo of my father and Merle Olsen from Little House on the Prairie.
I'll tell you the most embarrassed I've ever been in front of a celebrity, and it's been on this show.
Did I do it?
And it was EJ's fault, and I'll never forgive him for it.
What did he do?
The infamous, you were the Chappelle show doing the robot.
Yeah. I still remember that.
You
It
still
still got me.
controlled that. You controlled that. He has an out here. Because
What?
you didn't have to take his advice. You didn't have to say
You know
anything.
he's always wrong.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That was really the origin of knowing that he's always wrong.
I know. But listen, I only have myself to blame, but that was embarrassing because, and it's like a borderline racist.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
There's like
Melissa,
racism, and
then
the fact
Melissa
that I was
took the clip and made it like a funny.
that
putting
made it
them-
worse.
Yeah, so bad.
But then, I was a huge fan of the Chappelle show, so to get it wrong was even more embarrassing to me. And
Well, you were excited, man. Like, I remember how
No.
bad you felt all day. Like, the rest of the day,
'Cause
you
I'm
were
like,
like,
what an
God!
idiot.
Like, it still affects him.
He would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
doing that move where
Every
he's
morning.
sitting at his desk and he's
Every
quiet, and he'll be
morning.
like, God, I don't know why I did like, and you'll be like
Yeah.
legitimately upset.
That's the only reason EJ is still on the show, so I can micro embarrass him for years.
Every time he looks in the mirror, he micro embarrasses himself. Trust me.
Yeah, just to get him back for
Yeah.
that one moment, that worst
Oh.
moment of my
Did you
career.
guys tune into Nerd Talk Live last night? Anyone?
No, of
Anyone?
course
Anyone?
not.
No one. Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's
Yes.
take a break.
All
Let's
right.
come back.
Can you hang out?
Oh, yeah.
Or you got more stories?
Oh, you know it.
Okay, cool. We'll take a quick break and be back with more of Corporate Time.
Welcome back to Corporate Time. July 29th, we're going to be at Cafe Da Vinci in DeLand.
Yeah, man. I'm getting a lot of people that, well, that's my hometown. And I got a lot of people that still live in DeLand that are like, "Oh, man, you're going to be there?" I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Come out to Cafe Da Vinci and see True Sonic. Truephonic.
Yep.
Damn it, Danny. Truephonic and Little Stranger. I think you will enjoy both bands. And Cafe Da Vinci is a great little venue in a beautiful little town of DeLand, Florida.
And completely free.
Yeah.
Free show.
That's the
Just
most important
come
part.
hang out.
Yeah, it's a free event.
Have some beers, and we'll...
Beers are not free, but reasonably priced and ice cold.
So, Kenny, any other stories you got?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So I did a show with the Village People at SeaWorld. And it was one of those like concert series, like kind of like how Epcot does with, you know,
my
shows or
daughter
whatever.
asked me yesterday because the song was, I put music on when we're making dinner. This ties in perfectly.
Yep.
My daughter asked me last night, what is YMCA, Daddy? And Andrew, before I could answer, Andrea said it's the Young Christian, what is it?
Young
Men Christians Association. Yeah. And then Maisie, of course, says, can girls go there? And Andrea's like, yeah. And then she's like, well, why do they call it the Young Christian Men's Association, or Young Men's Christians Association? And then we didn't have a good answer because we're not YMCA people. I know the origin. I know the history of YMCA. But then she was asking about the song and why it talks about how young men can go there, and I just eventually pivoted to a different topic so I wouldn't have to explain it, because it was starting to get into the territory of, like, I was explaining that only, like, young gay men could go to the YMCA, which is not true, but it damn seems like it if you're trying to, like I don't know, natively integrate the song into explaining what the YMCA is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's weird.
Well, it's like when you say...
Shouldn't we have changed the name by now?
When you say for all mankind, you're that's
right.
All humans, right? For like
yeah, but like
men.
YMCA, it's not. We don't call it the Young Men's Christian Association anymore,
they
right?
rebrand themselves as the Y. They just call themselves the Y because like
the Y. Everybody knows the Y is where you go to eat.
What's your story, Kenny?
Oh man.
So they were performing 2 shows, like one at like 3:00 and one at 5 or whatever. And in between, they wanted to ride.
It smells like dolphin poop in here.
They wanted to
get dressed like a biker.
Yeah, I'm watching a biker jump around. It smells like fish everywhere.
Well, they wanted to ride the roller coasters in between shows. And
oh my God! Put your hat below. Oh my God! It blew off his headdress.
I was praying so hard that they would stay in costume and ride the roller coaster.
No, I want him out of costume like a Hooters girl. I want him to wear just sweatpants and a tank top.
Well, I would have paid like the $25.
That's the biker.
I see your police boots.
You're not a real Native American.
Well, what's weird is they showed up to SeaWorld in full costume. Like, they didn't get dressed there. So
that's weird.
They were changing in a Denny's bathroom. Come on, let's be honest.
So they did their first performance, and then me working with them, I got to ride the roller coasters with them. So there's a photo.
You rode roller coasters with the Village People?
Yeah, the Village People. But they weren't in costume,
Man,
which was kind of a bummer.
Kenny. You're so cool, dude. You have you're the...
Did you hold your hands up like a big Y?
Yeah, that's good.
We didn't time that out. But there is a photo somewhere of like us, and it's like me and like 5 other 60-year-old men riding a roller coaster.
When they put on their street clothes, is there a little tip of the cap to what character they are?
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
you're right. You got to give me a way to know,
Yeah,
because it's like having twins and you dressed them alike. It's like, I'm not going to be able to tell them apart.
Yeah. You put the boy in blue shoes.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Yeah.
like the police officer, mustache, easy.
Yeah.
Native American, long hair. Did he have long hair? I don't know. Sam, pull up a photo of the Village
like
People.
a dream catcher earring.
Yeah. Give me one dream catcher. Who else?
Yeah.
Construction worker.
Construction worker.
Boots. Look, he's got Timberlands on.
But see, what's weird is there's the biker, and like the biker and the police officer are very similar.
Oh,
in
I
their
thought
outfits.
there's a biker and a police officer? I thought there was police officer, there's Native American, there's construction worker.
There's military man.
Oh,
There's
sailor.
military man.
Sailor.
Is there a sailor?
It's
Yeah.
sailor, Indian, or excuse me, Native American. It's sailor, Native American, police officer.
Construction
Construction
worker, and I thought
worker.
it was biker.
No, biker. How does
Yeah,
that?
there is a biker.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biker.
There's like a.
Oh wait,
he's like-
police officer is the black guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheriff or like Chips Patrol, that's
Yep.
the black guy. Then you're right. There's biker, then there's Native American, then there's construction worker.
Yeah. Although he doesn't dress like a real biker.
No, he dresses like
the guy from the Oath Keepers.
Right. He's not. Yeah, exactly. He's not dressing like.
He's dressed like a flamboyant gay
Yeah,
biker.
he's dressed like a gay biker. You're right.
He's got tiny leather booty shorts.
They're called hoochie daddy shorts.
Well, this isn't the Oath Keepers.
Even NPR.
They have changed a little bit throughout the years. So the original 7 members were
seven members.
Yeah, the
Oh my
original
God.
7. One was he
Magnificent
did
Seven
all
is what
of
they
these.
like
He
to
did
call
cop,
themselves.
admiral, athlete, gigolo, and nondescript.
Admiral.
And then you have Native American. Then you have,
Nondescript.
Admiral.
I don't know.
My new superhero name is Admiral Nondescript.
and you have GI, biker, construction worker, and cowboy.
We should
Cowboy.
update it. We should update it now. It should be IT guy, programmer, disgruntled fast food worker.
K-pop
if you
star.
look at 2021 to present, we have cop/admiral, Native American,
Admiral, what is it?
someone in the military, GI, Leatherman.
Leatherman.
Instead of biker, they say Leatherman.
Yeah.
They're like, this
Construction
doesn't
worker.
look anything like a biker anymore. He's
Yeah.
a
That's because
Leatherman.
bikers put him aside. Hey, brother, can you just take the biker out? Yeah. You don't need the motorcycle.
You're a leather
You're
man.
a leather daddy.
So how were were
they
the
were cool to work
original
with, yeah.
members?
No,
it was-
they've changed so many times.
Yeah,
over the
it's
Yeah.
years.
usually just like the biker. He's the only one left.
I think
and all the older ones got cancer.
There only like 2 of them were original. The other ones were add-ons. Because one of them was awkwardly young, but he was the one that would do all like the breakdancing and everything.
Well, I mean, he's the boy toy.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I mean, the biker, he got a big old Duke gut, and he's been biking
Yeah.
his.
So they would do like Macho Man, and like the 25-year-old would go out there, rip
Yeah.
off his shirt, and
Do the head spin.
yeah, spin around for a bit.
What a weird band.
It's
and
pretty awesome.
like there should
It's
be a
pretty
documentary on
there is, I'm
the
sure.
Village People, because it's a bizarre thing that happened in our culture, right? That they even got popular, and they
Disco, man.
seemingly-
Disco was an amazing time period.
But they like remained popular to a certain extent, where they could play at SeaWorld like in
fun-ass
their
song.
60s. It's weird.
Well, Macho Man
Shouldn't
and
be
YMCA
stupid.
are their only 2 hits,
In
right?
the Navy.
In the Navy, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 hits, not bad. Not bad, 3 hits. So they do those, and then they do maybe some covers.
Yeah, and they
It's
have.
not even songs. It's like, I'm going to chant.
No, they
No,
march.
there's songs.
They march. I'm going to march
Yeah,
and chant.
But the songs are not, it's not like music. It's like, we're going to chant with a background track, right?
Yeah, they're like marching in place.
Yeah. Because
And
it's
then-
all the same, like YMCA, the macho man.
Yeah, it's
we
all
want
very-
you. We want you as a new recruit.
In the Navy.
It's very, they're like baby songs.
It's like an old man boy group, right?
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I'm saying?
That was one of the original boy bands right there.
Oh, I don't think you can make that statement.
It's a bunch of dudes like seemingly dancing like choreography at the same time. You know, there's some
more
choreography
like-
involved,
but
it's more
it's like
marching.
it's more like male review choreography. And what I mean by that, it's like march, flex your pelvis, march, point to the left, march.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like dancing. Like in sync, they would dance. You know, they're
There's
like,
multiple documentaries about the Village People.
oh,
by
dude,
the way.
get on it. You
One
should
of them's
watch all
called
of them.
Feathers and Leather.
Yeah. We
It's
should
bizarre.
We should dress as the Village People for Halloween.
So, Tom, which one would you want to be?
Construction worker.
Well, I got to be Little Biker, right?
Yeah,
Because I
you gotta
can
be
grow the-
Leatherman.
I can do the
No,
mustache.
Leatherman.
Do I get to be in it even though I'm not a man?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
can-
you're
which
the-
one
Well,
doesn't-
you're the Native
I wanna
American.
Be,
Yeah,
no,
obviously.
I want to be Mrs. Officer.
No, you're Native American. Doesn't wear a shirt.
Okay, Lil Wayne.
With long hair over the tees.
I like long hair over the teeth.
Yeah. They don't do that
That's
anymore.
called the Godiva. I like that. My wife has really long hair. Sometimes
Yeah.
I ask her, I'm like, put it right in front of your nipples. I do it.
Why would you say that?
I don't know.
That reminds me of like a 1970s hippie look.
Yeah,
you know
I like
what I
that.
mean? Where
Yeah.
I like that. A
So
bush all the way to your nose.
do you want to do some
Voicemail, emails. Sam, let's start with an email because
All
we've
right.
been neglecting them, and that'll give me enough time to fire up voicemails. Voicemails are easy to leave. 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's 1-844-TOMNDAN. Call that number, leave a voicemail message. I dump that mailbox about once a week. The other way to do it is to get our free app. Totally free. All of our shows are on there, including our members shows, our BDM shows, and you can sign up to be a BDM. TomandDan.com/registration.
Oh, speaking of that, I think we're gonna send out the BDM beach party. It's BDM only. So the only way you can go is if you get the invite.
I'm so pumped for this. I might get special Tom and Dan board shorts for this event.
We're gonna send it out July 27th, I think. So if you want to go and you're not a BDM, subscribe now at TomandDan.com. It's only $1.95 a month for the lowest tier.
Yep.
You know, and so you can become a BDM for that.
Yep, TomandDan.com/registration.
Movie trope slap. Lights, camera, and action, Tom, Dan, Sam, and crew. The movie trope of the get a hold of yourself slap is just a movie trope, right? Is slapping another individual these days almost extinct? Who on the T&D roster could perform the best slap? My money would be Sam, assuming the thanks toots slap is fully extinct.
Ooh, Sam, that'd be a hard slap, though.
Well, I mean, Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock, so it's not out.
Well,
slapping's still
that was
in.
an anomaly, though. I think that's why we were all so shocked, right?
That's a defend my wife's honor slap. The get a hold of yourself slap.
To get yourself together. Yeah.
You know what?
Get a hold of yourself.
Yeah, someone's hysterical.
Not to talk about the slap, but I think that there's been enough time where I can give a little bit more. Like it's like soaked into my brain now, where I've thought about it, and I would not have slapped Chris Rock. But I would have pushed him off the stage. I think most men, most dads, most hubbies, like in the hubby role, traditional hubby role, I'm sitting there saying some garbage, and then my wife's like elbowing me, like mad at me, and then I get up and I do the wrangle, and I push. I don't slap.
Yeah.
Too effeminate. The slap is too precise. It's too effeminate. It's weird. It's a weird choice.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's a whoa, what are you doing? And it's like a push. It's a push.
The closest I've ever come to get a hold of yourself slap was when
I thought you were going to slap me that day. Remember the day I was standing in here and I said, I'm losing it right now and I have to go take a walk. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to slap my face.
Well, no, I'm never going to slap. Now, if you're hysterical and
inside it was I was crying on the inside.
It's got to be someone's hysterical and they're putting your own life in
like
danger.
Daffy Duck.
Well, you're shaking. So this actually happened when we sunk the Grizz's boat in Lake Toho in Kissimmee.
Yes.
And
emergency situation.
And there was a storm, and then everybody was swimming to another boat for rescue, and the Grizz is crying because he sunk his brother's boat, and he's trying to gather.
The Grizz is very emotional. A lot of people don't remember that. He's as emotional as me, but not as smart.
yeah, super.
I have seen him cry multiple times on cruises.
He's an emotion.
He cries all the time.
I started talking to him one time. We were both drunk. I started talking to him about how much Maisie means to me, and he started welling up about his kids.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very sensitive man.
He'll cry and fight at the drop of the hat.
Yeah. He's strong. Strong tears.
So he's trying to gather all the stuff the garbage that's floating away from the boat, like the cup holders and the boat seats, cushions.
Seat cushions.
And then
flare gun.
As he's crying, whatever, I swam over to him and grabbed his life vest. And then I shook him, and I was like, "You gotta get in the boat!" And like I screamed because
that's good. That's it. That's it.
And then he let everything go, and then swam over to the boat.
That is it.
And so, but I didn't slap him. But that was the closest I came to a get a hold of yourself slap.
I think the closest would also be if someone is drunk and they're acting a fool, and you slap them, kind of like
Yeah.
sober. I think that's the closest the get a hold of yourself.
What if your wife dumps your almost dead body into the shower and turns the water on you like a hobo?
Oh, and then you slap her?
No. She's like, she just does the move where she dumps your body in there and turns on the cold water, and you're like, "What are you doing?"
Okay, that's kind of a get a hold of yourself.
I put
it's kind of a sober up.
I think Andrea's done that now and again.
Yeah. She's
like, "You peed your pants."
It's the old dunk the cowboy in the horse trough.
But
Back to the Future.
You know what's funny is they dunk the cowboy in the horse trough, and then when he comes out, he's like, "Oh, all right, I'm ready to fight the bad guys." Like he's always instantly ready.
Yeah, like you can't be ready that quick. I know how
you
drunk
gotta go
works.
to the cabinet. You gotta get some Advil. You gotta get some Gatorade.
And then really, you need time.
Yeah,
like you can't just snap out of it.
You need an egg McMuffin, a greasy breakfast.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of horse backwash in that trough.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's just all half
and
horse
bird
saliva.
poo and bird poo. Sam, you ever slapped anybody? Because
Not recently.
The guy said that. The emailer said that you'd be most likely to slap.
No, he didn't say most likely. He just said would give the best slap.
I think you.
No, I haven't done it in a while. It's. in my younger years.
This is a compliment, but I don't think you have much of a chill on your slap. I think if
mine
you're getting,
was more of a punch.
I think if you're getting slapped by Sam, it's gonna hurt. Like, because she doesn't slap very often. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think she's gonna. It's a coveted thing, right? She's gonna hold it close to the vest, and if she does slap you, it's gonna be a hard.
It's gonna
I don't
hurt,
know.
man.
It's
but I
gonna
think
hurt
Tom, if he gets challenged
He's
enough,
strong.
he would wind up kind of like those punch machines that you see at bars,
He's
where
good
it's
at
like you're
those.
trying to show
Oh,
off.
yeah.
I think Tom would want to try to show off how better he can slap.
He is the one that the listeners seem to think that if pushed, to his breaking point would be an uncontrollable ball of anger and energy. Like, people think that when he snaps, I mean, it's
I'm
just,
not going to snap.
But they think that. They think
I know.
because you push everything down into cancer, because you don't show emotion, that if you were to show emotion, that it would explode.
But don't you know how that works? The energy turned into cancer. Right. It's not now. If I go to harness the energy, it's just cancer.
I'm sorry, guys. All I have is cancer.
All I have is polyps in my colon.
Polyps.
Oh, whatever.
Polyps.
Polyps.
They're my pals. They're my polyps.
So my wife slapped me one time.
Oh, wow.
I think she slapped me multiple times. But
you know what? You're
we've
the
been together.
only person on the show. I mean, I can't speak
Have
for
you ever slapped your husband?
No, I've never did a slap.
No.
No.
You ever been slapped by your husband?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I have to ask. It's illegal. I have to ask. I've never been slapped by Andrea. But I did get the shower, dead body in the shower.
Yeah. Well, my wife slapped me in the face as hard as she could.
You son of a bitch!
After her
Frog pajama pants!
No, it had nothing to do with that.
I can't do this no more.
You sucked her teeth!
I told the story. It was after Andres' wedding.
Well, you both were off in the drinks, man.
And we had rented a limo back when limos were cool. And,
I think they'll come back.
And then
because we're in a 90s phase right now, I think this prom this year, you're going to see a lot of kids going for the limos again.
And we were all blacked out, and we're at Turkey Leg's house.
Was this when the wizard crapped in the ice machine or ice bucket?
You guys are bad people.
Ice bucket in the limo.
Yeah. There's a picture of him sitting. I mean, that's bad enough.
He didn't actually do. He just
doesn't matter. He put his bare ass over the ice machine. I'd be like, get the hell out of the limo, you
It
animal.
was the ice bucket.
It's gross.
It's a limo in Miami.
Because I know he doesn't
disgusting.
wipe good. Because he is a
And then we were making fun of Turkey Leg because he only tipped the limo driver $5.
and you're crapping in his ice bucket.
We were like $5, and then he started destroying his own patio furniture. And then Crystal lost her cell phone, and then we got in an argument, and then she wanted to walk out and like walk to the place.
Did you grab her arm? You got to grab her arm.
Well, the Turkey Leg used to live in a bad part of Miami, so I was like, you can't go out there. It's a horrible neighborhood.
We're gonna get you.
I'm leaving.
And then she was doing the move where she's like, "I'm get out of here." And then
Let me go.
We're at his like front doorway, and the door's open, and I'm trying to
Crystal, please.
I'm trying to grab at her, and then she turned around and slapped my face as hard as possible. And then because you can't, I'm not a horrible person that's gonna start fighting with my wife.
You're not a professional sports player. If you were a professional sportsman, you would have grabbed her by the neck and carried her through the living room up against the wall.
So I, in anger, just Incredible Hulk ripped my shirt off.
Because you couldn't do anything.
I was like,
knew it. I can't do anything to her, but I can do something to myself. Always put it back on yourself.
And I'll rip my expensive men's dress shirt off. So I ripped it off.
You're going to like the way you look.
All the buttons off. And then I think she stumbled into Turkey Leg's front yard and fell. And then dog dude.
There was something about a mailbox.
Yeah. Then we went to the ATM, and I got into the ATM settings by some of the contrast.
Yeah, you changed the language. Changed the language to German.
That was back before Uber. We were taking taxi, and we didn't have any cash. And then I'm like, that's only this contrast. And then even the taxi driver's like, what? How'd you get into these settings of an ATM? Anyway. And then Crystal slapped me for some other things.
At the ATM. It was like, second slap.
When's the last time you have been slapped?
This is years ago.
It was a year on the slapping day.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever been slapped.
I got slapped by one girlfriend, but I had to restrain her. I had to hold her down because she'd get off in that brown drink, and she'd start to get a little crazy. And I had to hold her down.
Oh, yeah, that's called the...
until she passed out. And then once she passed out, I got off of her, walked backwards, get in my car, drive away, and that relationship.
Well, let's not forget,
apart.
Dan had a tortilla slap about a couple weeks ago.
No.
On TikTok, yeah.
He made my ears ring. It was like...
They don't want to play along with my TikTok Tuesdays anymore.
Let's talk about it, because Tom doesn't like... You wanted us to do the... What is it? Trailer Park Tammy...
Well, everybody's doing it. It's not just her
But it's
thing.
like, we watched her.
She's a 10 butt.
Mm-hmm.
challenge.
So yeah, like Sam's really good about like let's do a TikTok Tuesday, and like the first one was over the broomstick.
Yeah, I
which
dislocated my shoulder doing that. That's
Yeah.
how poor. That's how poor my health is.
It was easy for how stiff I am. That was
That
super
was
easy.
surprising. But you folded your legs like a stork.
Yeah,
It
I
was
have
crazy.
You have flamingo legs, like they bend the wrong way.
It literally went
Yeah.
sideways, and it blew my mind.
Yeah, it was disgusting watching your legs. You're a bird man.
I have stork legs. So. And then we kind of ran out of the physical challenges, which I
we did tortilla
prefer.
slap.
Yeah, we did tortilla slap. What happened to a good old ice bucket? What
You
happened
bring
to
the ice bucket back.
But that's
Like
too
you
much
had a
of
good
mess.
one. You're like, she's an 8, but she has butt hair. And I'm like, that's a good
No,
one.
well, then Sam's
That's
like,
a good one.
so Sam's like, let's do this. She's a number, and then there's something either good or bad about
Right.
them, and then they
How
say,
does it fluctuate your
Yeah.
rating on that
yeah.
person?
And then so Sam showed me some comedian that's doing it, and I look at it, and then I'm like, oh, okay. And then so when it comes time to do it, which was Tuesday.
Yeah, I forgot about it entirely.
Sam's like, let's do this before we leave. And then I could not bring myself to it. I
she
can't
also
do...
knows we're not going to do it because she's packing her bag as she's asking.
I was like, this'll take 5 minutes.
I'm like, she knows we're not going to do that.
I thought you guys would because I brought it up last week and you seemed interested.
We
and
are
then, And then
interested.
Tom looked down at his desk and he goes, I can't do it in front of you guys. And I was like, what?
Well, because I don't like doing the joke. Okay, the trends that...
It's like hee haw. It's like where they did the
like the who's on first.
yeah.
or-
It's like a canned.
But you do improv every day here.
I know. That's
But
what's
we
weird
never
about
come back to it. Like I say something and I try my hardest to not say the same thing the rest of the day.
Well, you don't have to do it again.
But
Just
you
do
could
it one and done.
Well, you could also do hacky ones based on the show. Like she's a 10, but she only pays $1.95.
See, that's not funny. If I saw that, I'd punch my phone if you said that. I'd be like, who's this guy? I'd slap your face.
Well, I'm getting
I
slapped.
want to slap you right now.
Here's the... Because if you be like, do the thing to
Yeah.
me and Daniel, we...
No, but I laughed out loud when you said she's an 8, but she has butt hair, and I was like, that's a good one.
But I can only do that when you're
Yeah,
not filming,
I know.
and I want to just make you guys laugh because it's real. When you go to say do the thing for
maybe
the TikTok
maybe
trend,
that's what we do, where we include that, where I'm like we fake it, like where I start videoing you and I go, okay, do the butt hair thing,
I think
and then you do it.
I can't fake it, which is weird. Like I can't even pretend to do the thing.
No, I know it's uncomfortable.
It makes
Will
me,
you do any of the dance challenges?
I'll do a dance challenge.
see that could be real.
I
because-
tried to get you to do the Lizzo one, and you kept putting it off. I was like, he's never going to do it.
Well, I don't. You have to learn the dance, right?
Correct.
That's the hard. That takes time to
Yeah.
like
What about-
choreography.
Do it with your boys.
What
they
about
like Lizzo.
those split 50-50s where you're just getting his reaction?
Oh,
Like,
he hates reaction videos.
I like the reaction videos, but I like it where my new thing is to watch the reaction videos where it's like somebody doing something extraordinary and the person reacting to it doesn't
even
break.
move. Yeah,
They're just like
They
watching
just
it and they're
stare.
like,
yeah.
Oh, that's a Ryan Reynolds, right? Like he
does
that.
those.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Everybody does it though.
one person does one good idea and then everybody copies it.
It's weird how.
That's what makes it a trend.
No, it's true, but
But it also like makes it.
we went from
lame.
Joe Rogan attacking you on stage if you told the similar joke to some other comedian.
Right.
We went from that to
to variations
now
of
it's
the
like,
same joke.
now-
1 million variations.
Copy it, do it 1,000,
Yeah,
10,000
you're right.
times, and we're all fine with it. Like, steal this guy's joke and just do the same thing over and over
Yeah,
and over.
it's so much hypocrisy.
This is an old throwback, but do you guys remember the kicked in the nuts videos? So they would set it up like it's one of those hidden cam videos, and the guy's just like walking in a park, and a guy just kicks him in the nuts, and then he's like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" And then he goes, "My friend, you just got kicked in the nuts," and then like pointed as if it's a camera, and then the person who got kicked was like, "Oh, I'm on this prank show."
But that's all fake.
No, that's the whole point. But like,
I've never heard of any
I
of
just
this.
sounded like
I want to
an
slap you again.
I just realized I sounded like an insane person just describing that entire scenario.
No, but I've seen this because this is popular with like hey, I'm going to like shoulder check this gigantic buff guy and just keep on walking.
the gym videos.
Or the
yeah.
escalator where one couple's going down and the girl grabs the arm of either the guy or the girl.
Yeah, and
I've
the
seen
other
those.
person pretends to run them back up there.
So fake.
And then it's like, well, you
Hate
guys,
it.
Also, it doesn't help that you guys look like friends. You know what I'm saying?
And you're all hot as hell.
Yeah, you're all good
all
looking.
attractive. There's nobody normal.
24-year-olds. Like, you didn't do this to a crazy old redneck guy. Like, this guy is obviously your friend. So, but it's still got 1 million views.
There's another one where it'd be like, so let's say, you're sitting there and be like, yeah, I'm here at the TND studios. Come find me. I'm wearing a black polo shirt and khaki shorts.
I've
like
seen
describing the person in front of you.
Yeah. You know what? I'm done with all this garbage.
That's what you said 2 weeks ago.
But then I'm addicted
You're
to
back
it.
in.
I just scroll
I'm glad
and it's
I'm
all
not.
garbage.
I don't spend any time on TikTok at all.
You don't?
No.
Some good stuff.
I
It's
don't.
really good.
Yeah,
It's real good.
Let's try this voicemail right here.
Hey guys, the Oculus, I got that maybe about 2 weeks before you all started talking about it, and I gotta say, VR porn, it is top notch. I mean, it's 2 or 3 steps above regular POV scenes. Just being able to watch a scene with your favorite porn star, it's incredible. I mean, the headset, it does not even hold enough charge for me. But
My
on a
God.
side note,
Wait, hold on.
Jesus Christ, man. It doesn't hold enough charge. Mine's been I can go a couple days using it.
For sure.
Yeah, a week.
Hours.
I could do a week,
Yeah, I think I could do a week.
Yeah, I mean, how long are you spending in there,
Oh,
man?
man.
You need to come out of the metaverse.
you got to play the 11 table tennis. I mean, this game is just realistic and accurate. I can't stop playing it. Played somebody the other night. He requested a match. He came on, and he was talking a bunch of crap. Right away when I got on there, he's like, "Oh, look at this bitch. I'm gonna beat your ass, N-word." And he just kept talking the whole time through the match, and I didn't say anything back. I was silent the whole time. And I whipped his ass in the full thing, 3 games, swept him. And then right at the end, I said, "Who's the bitch now?" And he was in shock and he was mad. But it's so fulfilling to be able to do that. But anyways, check out that game.
We've lost this man to
11,
virtual reality. He thinks this is real life.
Yeah, that guy's. He is no
is
longer
in the meta.
Yeah, he's no longer a
Oh,
human.
man.
He's living his
You're
life
right,
in there
though.
now. Did you hear how calm and robotic
yeah.
he was?
Yeah.
My God,
We've lost him.
We have lost him.
He was in a void. It was really
Yeah.
quiet behind
Everything
him.
was so pure. That call was I feel like that was getting beamed from another planet.
Also, just the fact you thought that story was impressive shows me you've lost touch of reality. I called someone a bitch at the end.
Who's a bitch now?
Who's the bitch now?
And he's an emoji who's got no legs.
Take that.
All right. What is?
I am the king of 11 table tennis.
It's we've lost you.
Wow, yeah, man, you got to take that thing off.
You got to go outside and get some fresh air.
Wait till my girlfriend hears about this. Christy Canyon.
All right.
It's an old porn star reference.
Kenny, Two Moves podcast, anywhere podcasts are heard, right?
Yeah, Apple Podcast.
I like to move it.
That's a good one. We trademarked that. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio, but of course everyone else is. And, that's,
When they just leave it open, so
all
you
the
can,
competitors are on there too. which is-
Spotify.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spotify's on the app.
when you can just upload your movie to Amazon and anybody can do
Yeah.
it, it takes
It does.
it takes
It makes
how
it less
special.
cool.
Yeah.
It makes it less
It's
cool.
kind of like when someone's being introduced at a comedy club, it's like, oh, they've appeared on Comedy Central. Well, everyone's appeared on Comedy
You're
Central.
right. Yeah.
We've been on Comedy Central.
Yeah, you're taking all of anything special about it away. All right, Kenny, we'll talk to you next month, and we'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to a Corporate Time. Oh man, I wish I had Johnny's for lunch every single day.
Hamburgers are good.
They have a new brunch menu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. I don't think is the hamburger that drunk burger.
It's the Dunk Burger.
Oh,
How
dunk
dare
burger.
you?
I go to the drunk burger.
No, because you dunk it in the au jus.
Oh.
Did you get any of that? There's some au jus in there.
No, I just ate
Yeah.
the. It doesn't even need that.
Yeah, I know,
doesn't.
it's
I didn't use
delicious.
it either. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
delicious.
just wolfed down a triple patty. I mean, there's so much delicious cheese on that thing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, served every Saturday and Sunday from 10:30 to 4 p.m. It's brunch at Johnny's Filling Station.
Yes.
Which I was just talking to Deli, their marketing guy, and we were talking about how Johnny, it's the ultimate entrepreneurial restaurant story where he started.
Oh yeah, started making snow cones.
Yeah, shaved ice at Johnny's. Then he started offering burgers and then beer.
Fries, and they added beer.
And then a lot of people don't know this. Johnny's was our original sponsor, like our first sponsor we've ever had.
Yeah, our very first sponsor, 100%.
And has been with us for
never been away from us.
Like, I think when we first got sponsors is when you left the station. So it's
because Johnny's like, hey, what are you gonna do, man?
Yeah,
and I don't know, Johnny.
We couldn't
probably working here, probably be making hamburgers,
flipping burgers.
We couldn't have official sponsors because we were worried that Clear Channel was gonna come after us if we actually had sponsors. We were like, if you mess with their money, that's when they get mad. Like,
just if you're just yelling fart jokes, they don't really care.
And then so once you left, I was like, let's get Johnny's on, and then so it's been damn near 10 years straight.
Yeah.
That Johnny's been a sponsor of Tom and
we've
Dan.
done a lot of crazy events there. We've done a lot of charity events there. We've had
remember the original beer
playing
festival?
reggae there. We've had Sam there. We've had
Hammerschlagen, Real Man Fest.
Real Man Fest.
Oh, that's a lawsuit.
The Hammerschlagen people that own the name threatened to sue us.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Hot tub and mini fridge event.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
Mechanical shark. Mechanical bull.
I heard hot tub and mini fridge were there, but I didn't see them. Apparently, they were camping out on Mike Busey's. They were hiding on Mike Busey's bus.
I remember going to get the logs for Hammerschlagen, and some BDM was like, I have these logs at this trailer park. And then I drove out.
You almost got shot at a trailer park.
To the edge of a Popka, and they're like, that
was the worst Lady Gaga song ever written, is The Edge of a Popka.
And he was like, go to the back of the trailer park. And
never go to the back of the trailer park.
Oh, that's where they keep the bodies.
And he's like, you'll see a pile of stumps. And he's like, you can have as many stumps as you want.
Yeah, it's stump land there.
Then I was
Free
like,
stumps.
I was like, all right. And I remember driving my truck.
Those are Randy stumps. Don't you touch his stumps.
Well, that's what I started thinking, because I never think about what I'm doing until it's like too late.
Yeah.
So as like he's like, go to the end of a Popka where the houses stop, and then it's just woods and trailer parks,
and then look,
and then so I go.
You'll see the stumps in the distance,
and then I turn in the trailer park, but it's not the fancy trailer park that the BDM we gave the hot tub to. Like, that's a fancier.
Well, that's a community. That's like an adult
it's a community.
Yeah, like a mobile home community.
This was
these are just like dilapidated S boxes on the side of the road.
Well, it was no actual pads. It was just woods.
Yes.
With trailers parked in them.
Right.
They were side by side,
like
but
a car lot that people live on now.
but they were too far apart to be like a corporation trailer park.
Right, mishmash. Like God had a handful of trailers and just threw them at a field.
And as I'm driving through the woods, is this dirt road or whatever.
Your hand jiggled your revolver.
No,
my hand don't jiggle.
I saw, but there were like, kids playing in the front.
Yeah, but they were three-eyed kids.
But they all started coming out of the trailer park looking to see.
We got a new one here. Take his pants. Take his pants.
And they're all just watching me drive, and I'm driving deeper into the trailer park, and I see the pile of stuff.
Hills Have Eyes.
Yes, and then there was someone burning next to the pile of stuff.
Yeah, there was a man hanging in the tree like the Hills Have Eyes. That was the nerd. He'd been stabbed, and they burned his body.
They were burning the tree debris, and then
this is the Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, the branches.
Yeah, they're burning the branches, but the stumps were part of it. So then I was worried that I was like, am I taking these people's burning stumps?
This is how we stay warm.
Yeah. Like, I was like, who? I don't even remember who told me this.
You're taking our fuel for our cooking.
Funny part about the opposite side of that, I met a BDM in a 7-Eleven parking lot to give him those stumps.
Yes.
Because he wanted them for his own Hammerschlagen.
Yeah, did you know that he took the stumps from our Hammerschlagen event and kept them? Because he's so nice, rather than doing what I would do, which I mean no harm to anybody we've ever worked with, but if those are my stumps and we do an event, I leave them at Johnny's and I go, if Johnny wants to keep those stumps, great. If not, he can ask his staff, his army of people, to push them into the dumpster. Tom will be like, no.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll clean up after.
So he'll back up his truck, and it doesn't matter if he gets home at 4 a.m. He'll lift the stumps into the back of his truck, and he'll drive it home and leave them in the back of his truck.
But drunk Tully's always there to lift.
Yeah, you always have somebody there.
Yeah, he has to kiss my neck before he does every lift, but he'll lift anything I ask him to.
So then
he'll take a bullet from me. I know that.
Tom took the stumps, the used stumps, and then gave them and the hammers to like some college kid that wanted to run a party at his like dormitory.
I think that was Peyton, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Who's Peyton? Was that our old intern?
Yeah. Rossi's a bully.
Rossi did not like
What
him.
happened to Peyton?
God rest
He
his
was the
soul.
nerd, right?
Yeah.
Ross used to bully Peyton? I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Ross also was supposed to be in charge of Hammerschlagen that night. He
Yeah,
got drunk.
he
He
got
left
drunk.
me with the hammers. I almost got hit in the head with a hammer.
Oh, yeah.
People were hitting the nails and they were
And
flying
Ross's
up.
kid is playing cello. I remember, this is a mess.
Oboe.
Oh, oboe, yeah. This
for
is
money.
a mess.
Making duct tape wallets and selling
Yeah,
them.
this is a mess. Should have never happened.
Man, our events were.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
Something else.
Every time
And
we
now
describe,
I'm
Look at us now.
I get mad that everybody's like, there's a C word all over your house. Well, of course they think there is because of our old events.
Yeah.
every time somebody describes one of our old events, I think that was an episode of It's Always Sunny. That's not us.
It does feel a little like that.
It feels a little
At the time,
like,
it didn't seem that wild or
but
like irresponsible.
yeah, when people describe our events to me now, I go,
Well,
well,
you
that
were
sounds
all-
like a hunk of crap.
yeah. Sam would always tell us like this is irresponsible.
Well,
but I'm
also,
like,
I
yeah.
wasn't hired full time for a lot of that, so I
Oh.
didn't know a lot of the planning. I just kind of showed up,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "Oh, okay,
yeah. This
this was a bad idea."
It was a better time.
Yeah.
I've got to feel like we can't get away with that stuff anymore.
no insurance, no
No.
nothing. Yeah. I don't think we even talked to a lawyer or even, we just show
Oh,
up with the log.
God, in the Twitch chat room, Jake Hudson, he just messaged me. He lost his Tom and Dan shirt. How'd you lose it, Jake?
Well, which one? We've made a
The
lot.
only one he had. He's a listener that found us via Twitch only.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
then
he,
you.
just email me. I'll send you another one.
No,
Jake.
Hold
No,
on.
tell us how you lost it.
Well, you sent him the one that he had.
Yeah,
right?
and I'm gonna
One
send
and
him
done.
No,
No,
well, yeah,
it's not a one and done.
Yeah, if you lose it,
I'm
then
a
you're gonna
people.
buy the next
no,
one.
I'm a people,
No,
but he doesn't
you're
have a
gonna-
lot of money, Jake. Jake's,
Flood. Wait, he lost it in a flood? Okay, then we can give him
Oh
one.
my
Oh,
God.
well, did you go to the flood, or did it come
Wait,
to
did
you?
you go to
'Cause it-
participate in the
Yeah,
flood?
there's a difference. If you went
And it's
to
the
it, it's
flood
on
Typhoon
you.
Lagoon. Did you just get in the wave pool?
No, so you're saying
it came to you-
if the flood came to you and flooded your
That
shirt
I
off,
feel-
then we'll give you a new one.
Yeah.
If you drove to the flood, got out, and went, oh my God, a flood, whoa! And then it blew your shirt
Yes,
off, then
yeah.
you're the problem.
Listen, some people drive to the flood. Whatever happens then, it's on them. Anyway,
All right, well, we
you
figured
got
that-
enough money to buy a shirt, especially at our events. They're only $15.
Yeah, but he
I
can't.
don't
He's
think
out
he
of
lives.
state.
Yeah.
He's out of state, and he only found us via Twitch.
Well, how much money does he have?
Not a lot. Not
Well-
a lot. I don't. That's his business, but I'm just assuming he
That's
doesn't have a
subjective.
ton of money because he told me the last time. He's like, I'd like to buy a shirt or I'd like to be a BDM, but I don't have a ton of money. And when people tell me that stuff, I'm compassionate to them.
He said his house flooded.
Oh my! Well, how'd you lose your shirt? Hold on, I need to know more about
He
this.
was bailing water out of his house.
Like,
He took it off because he's bailing water like you do when you're you are Castleberry's Jake Hudson. When your what are those things? Your gutters flood your backyard. You get out there naked, with your bucket, and you have to save your house. That's what Jake was doing.
but the shirt doesn't float away down the
If
road.
you took it off and you just kind of tossed it aside, yeah, it might float out into the yard.
No, you're not losing your shirt in a house flood. What else happened, Jake? You gotta
So
tell
you're calling
us.
him a liar?
Well, also,
Jake, you could call in if you want to and describe to us how you lost your shirt.
Also-
because apparently Tom wants you to, go to court to get a new shirt.
well, some people when they're like, "Oh, my kitchen flooded," it's like, okay, well, your sink overflowed for an hour, and there's
It's not like your house was floating down
Yeah,
the road. Yeah.
I flooded my bedroom. You know what I mean?
like if you tell me your house flooded, I want the Hurricane Katrina
it blew,
water.
it blew your vanity window out.
Like I want the film of you're on the second floor of your house, and then you're just filming the bottom of your stairs, and it's like a whole ocean that was like just crashing. against
Question
it,
from Twitch.
knocking your photos.
Question from Twitch. They want to know why you are allowed to give straw hats with reckless abandonment, but I can't give T-shirts to dedicated listeners one at a time.
Well, I'm using the straw hats for barter.
Yeah, I'm using this for. You listen to our show, give you a shirt.
Well,
we need
a
all
lot
the
of people
listeners
listen to our show. We'll go bankrupt if we gave one a
That's
shirt.
fine.
Hold on,
We're
but
already
what has he
bankrupt.
done for you? Like I'm giving him to like, hey, you hooked me up with this pressure washer.
Pressure washer?
And then I'm like, here's a hat.
I need a pressure
You know,
washer
or it's
now.
like, hey, you gave me a deal on these chopsticks.
Chopsticks? You bought secondhand chopsticks?
Oh, no, it's the quantity.
I need 500 used chopsticks. What kind of
The hell?
cheapo are you? I mean, new chopsticks. Have you seen how expensive new chopsticks are?
You know, I just realized my references are horrible.
Who do you think you are, King Tut?
yeah. Well,
That was actually
when you watch it back, you're like, why did you think of that? That's a crazy person thinks of.
People in the chat want to know where their prize is for staying all day and night at the hurricane party. That
God.
T-shirts.
Is that
T-shirts
Norm?
for everybody.
What did I say? On stage.
What did I say? You said if they lasted, I believe it was if they lasted till midnight, that you would give them a prize.
Okay, well,
Oh, great.
email me your address.
Yeah, I'll send you a coupon for
We got
$1 off a draft beer, Johnny's other side.
I'll forward it
Yeah.
to Eric, and he's got some stuff later out. I'll mail to you.
Send him some dust buddies. Send him a sticker pack.
Yeah, you'll get something. Just email me.
Everybody gets something. Tom Van guarantee.
Tom at Tom and Dave. Put your address. Okay. Put it all in one tiny cube so I can copy it and just paste it to
One
Eric.
tiny cube.
Well, I'm saying because people put it in a long sentence and then they put their address in the
you
middle of the
can't-
paragraph.
Just forward
you
the
can't
email.
read and drag what you need out of the email. Like if they say my
He
name
cannot.
is this, my address is
He
this.
cannot do
No,
that.
You have to have them address it so you can just cut it out and tape it to the envelope to send it back.
Well, they're like, hey Tom, I was listening to the show and I heard you say you're gonna send me something free. Here's my address, but they put it in the
Sentence
paragraph.
form.
right,
Yeah.
like a normal person does.
And then and then they're like, thank you very much, blah blah blah.
You
You
have
saved
too
me
many
through some hard
loopholes. You have
times. I don't know
too
what
many
the
rules.
And,
so many rules.
And
Like
then
you have to talk to me like this.
And then they're like, from Bob. And then I'm like, well, what's your last name? I need to send
You don't
the
need the last name.
First, last, and then the
You don't need the
address.
last name. Bob, address, send it.
Yeah, but
I
then,
do that all the time.
But then their last name is in their company email, so it's like B Hansen at Chick-fil-A or whatever.
B. Hansen at Chick- I know Bob Hansen.
And
from
then so I'm like,
Chick-fil-A.
okay, so now I have to do the extra work. I have to write Bob Hansen, then I have to cut and paste the actual address out of the damn
Oh, it's
paragraph.
so much. Oh
But
my God. How does your little mind, retain all that tiny information?
But if you just put it in a block, I could just cut and paste it, and then I tell Eric, I'm like, send this guy garbage.
this guy, Bob Hansen from Chick-fil-A, will not leave me alone. This guy's a real a-hole.
All right, what are we going?
Remember Kratom Kenny?
Carrie.
Carrie, right.
Yeah, well, we gotta get out of here.
Sorry.
Oh, we gotta go.
We had a short one this time.
Never mind.
Okay.
That's
Until
the
next time.
Ultimate cliffhanger.
See you tomorrow. Welcome back to a corporate time. All right, we've got Jake on the line now. If you're listening to yesterday's ACT, we talked about how Jake lost his T-shirt.
Well, he said he lost his
Yeah,
shirt.
at the end of the show, he said he lost his Tom and Dan shirt in a flood.
And I said, I'll give you a new shirt. And then you're like, whoa. We can't just be giving out new shirts. And I'm like, he lost his shirt. And you're like, how the hell does a grown man lose his shirt? And he said he lost his shirt in a flood.
Yeah, in a house flood. How you doing, Jake?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Tom and Dan? How you guys doing?
Good to see
Doing
you,
good.
I'm a
man.
little bit nervous for calling in because last time I called into a radio show, I got my butt handed to me.
Oh,
Who'd you call?
We're not
No,
gonna. Yeah, who?
Yeah,
Let me
who-
guess.
yeah, let
Jim
me-
Colbert.
Bubba.
Bubba the Love
Oh,
Sponge, yeah.
yeah,
He can be a bit abrasive. He's a friend of ours.
It's weird. It's a love sponge.
Yeah. You would guess.
It should be a sponge of love.
Yeah, he's a hard and unfeeling sponge.
Let me tell you
Should
what
be
happened.
Bubba the Jean Jacket.
Earlier this year, we had a little bit of a water issue where the toilet we had a bad toilet and all that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was because the shirt was on the floor when it got wet.
You don't want to wear no toilet shirt, man. I'm with you.
Hold on, just got some
hold
toilet.
on.
Hey,
Just put it in the washer.
If I'm Jake and I take my shirt off to help my mom and dad and the toilet's overflowing, and then we got turds coming out and they get on my shirt, I'm punting that shirt in the trash.
Also, one of the things is I also had a white Bubba Army shirt that got destroyed too. So
Oh my God! I can't
Oh, we
help
can't
you.
replace
yeah,
that
we
one.
can't help you with that one.
I think we have some.
We actually do have some. Yeah, they gave us some of those. We
I
didn't
thought
know.
we shipped those out for BDM Appreciation
Oh,
Week.
yeah,
We
yeah,
may have.
we did that. Yeah. That was the mystery box. Another scam.
By the way, I just want to tell you guys that I ordered one. I just ordered one of your stickers.
Thank you very
The
much.
free
Oh,
sticker.
damn it. Now we can't give you a sticker pack.
Hold on. How'd you order? We have one sticker for sale?
No, they're free on the website.
Oh.
Thanks for. We've had those since the beginning of time of this podcast.
Okay, well,
Jake, this guy doesn't
hold on,
even know
you
his
said
own.
it. Well,
This guy doesn't even know his own show. That is talk about being
Well, that's
detached from reality. You're no different than Trump or
Truly.
any other rich guy. You're like, how'd you get a sticker? And Sam's like, they're free on the website. You're like,
I used to have to send those
who
out every
set
week.
that? Who did that? Who set that up?
Well, that doesn't how you presented it.
Oh.
You know, the thing is, Tom, Dan is actually right. I don't have a lot of money to go
Told
and
you.
spend on this stuff.
Told you.
Well, let's talk about that, Jake. Well,
We're going to give
how
him a
much-
free shirt because I help out.
What do you do for a living,
Yeah,
Jake?
how much money do you have? Because a lot is subjective. Some people would think I have a lot of money, but Elon Musk would think I'm poor.
Unfortunately, before I tell you the amount, I got to tell you I also got bills to pay, and I got to get food for the house and stuff.
We understand how adulting
$1,200 a
works.
month. $1,200 a month.
Ooh.
Well,
that's not a lot,
well,
buddy.
you know,
That's with. But here, let me
depends
tell
on
you
your
this.
bills. Huh?
I don't have Bubba. I don't have Todd Clem money.
Who?
I don't have. Sorry.
That's Bubba's real
You
name.
know who
Oh.
Todd-
I was
Sorry.
unfamiliar. That's
No, you're good. No, you're good. Just these guys, they're not as enmeshed in the radio world as,
Yeah, yeah.
as some
By
people
the
are.
way,
Yeah, is it
by the way, calling into your show is better than calling into Bubba's because Bubba doesn't have an answering service like you do, and doesn't have someone like Sam answering the phone. It's just him.
Well, that's because we don't put Sam in a Lexan box and have her rub her teeth on the glass and soap them up good. I'm sure if we did that, she would not be here very long.
but we'd be rich.
And at least that day, I would enjoy myself finally. One time. So
Yeah.
One day I would enjoy. You know,
Hold on,
I'd
let's
get
talk
home,
about this
I would
box.
get home and my wife would be like, "How was the show today?" And I go, "It was the goddamn best day of my life." I go, "You know what? I love my job. I love Tom. I love Sam. And goddamn
yeah.
best day of my life."
Yeah. No.
I got tears in my eyes.
No,
right
no.
now.
Why is the love sponge?
By the way, yesterday was actually a big milestone for me. It was my 6 years on YouTube yesterday.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
6 years on YouTube. What?
200 views.
What do you broadcast on there? What's your handle?
Actually, Jake Hudson. It's on my Twitch channel. But it's usually devoted for the Twitch channel, and I used to do like wrestling commentary and stuff.
Tom loves wrestling commentary. He goes to sleep to it. Who's your favorite wrestler, Tom?
I can't say it because everybody's gonna be mad. Let's just say that. Oh, I forgot the number.
But,
33.
by the way, you know, here's the thing. This is actually I think the third time I've called into a radio show that streams on Twitch.
Okay, which of the shows have you been on? You've been on Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Bubba and Steel Toad, and Steel Toad that's now on YouTube.
Steel Toad?
Steel Toad in the morning. You've been on Steel Toad?
Steel Toad.
Is it Steel Toad like the boot or Steel Toad like the frog?
Boot.
Oh, Steel Toad.
Steel Toad.
I thought it was
I
Steel
thought you were
Toad.
saying Steel Toad. I looked at my body. I'm like, yep, Steel Toad.
Hey, Dan, what email do you want me to send the information to?
Yeah, just send it to dan@tomandan.com and I'll get you that shirt, okay?
Thank you.
Hold on.
And here's the thing. Uh-oh.
You know, Tom says here's the thing a lot.
Uh-oh.
Tom,
Yeah. What? I know what you're doing, Jake.
What are you talking about? Jake's my buddy. You're the one that's being a hard ass to Jake.
No, I've put two and two together through our conversation with Jake, and I see what's happening here.
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, you're gonna get your arms chopped off in the middle of the night.
Hey, Tom, let me tell you something. Here's the thing. If you watch any of my content, I talked about having to deal with the flood. Also
Yeah, I posted the link in the
Hold on,
Twitch
hold
chat.
on, I'm gonna fart. I'm gonna do like a full radio.
Come on.
It's gonna
by the
stink.
way,
No, come on.
He's gonna poop his pants. Oh, that popped in the mic.
That came out faster than I thought.
Don't do that.
I'm going full radio.
That's disgusting.
He's a grown man.
I'm going full
did
radio.
I accidentally call the Bubba and Luck Fun show now?
Oh, now you're hurting my feelings.
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, you're
I had to
fine.
make that joke.
So it hurt
Here's
a
the
little
thing,
bit.
It's like, but the thing is, it's like, I love this show. I support you guys. I tweet your stream out all the time.
Yes.
You guys are live. By the way, happy birthday, Richard Simmons.
He doesn't listen.
That was 2 days ago. Yeah. Thank you, Jake. I'll pass it
That
on
was
to him.
yesterday, buddy. That was yesterday. Buddy.
Yeah, that was yesterday, 2 days ago. Even, I think. But happy birthday, Richard Simmons, who's being held captive by his housekeeper.
What made you think of that, Jake?
I put it up on the feed. You're missing a great show.
Here's the thing. Number one, you guys are this is a great show, by the way.
What was?
I've also been
It
on,
was a great show.
I know. Hold on, Jake. Now
really
you're
is.
trying to butter us up. Because
He needs a bigger shirt.
so, here's what I put together. Jake, Bubble Army guy, right? Steel
No,
Toe.
he's a Twitch and Steel Toe in the morning.
Yeah. And those two shows go hard. If I
They
know
do
that,
go. We don't go. We're silly.
We're snowflakes compared to them.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Basically, you guys are here's the thing. I watch you guys, and I'm also following Sam's channel too.
Yeah, I bet you are. Yes.
By the way, I wanted you guys to come on the podcast, and then people kept saying, "Oh, Tom and Dan doesn't do Sam's podcast. Why they do yours?"
Hold on, who says that?
Sam says that. What do you mean? Who
Yeah, he was
says
talking to me.
Who says that? Sam says that?
We
Sam
did
says
semantics at your new studio.
Oh, that
Not-
was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was
years.
like pre-pandemic.
And you guys really didn't want to do it.
No.
I wanted to do
I was
it. This
fine.
guy,
I
he's
went
like,
to
is she going to ask
Hill
for a
told
free
me
shirt?
that.
What
Kendall
happened?
Hill actually was the one that was telling me this stuff.
Hank Hill.
You know, the cartoon
Kendall
character.
Hill,
Kendall Hill.
you're the fan, the one that your chat a lot. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. I think we're in. I think we're done here.
So Jake,
Dan, by the way, this is actually a great time to call in. Did I call in the wrong time?
No, not the wrong time, but
you're good.
Yeah.
Is that who's
We have
on?
another listener that wants to take some of Jake's time here.
Oh, put him on the same.
all right. It's second caller.
I
What's
think
your
it's
name?
Daddy Applesauce.
What's up?
So we have Jake, and Jake. I've been saying your last name wrong. What's your last name, Jake?
S before D. Husden.
Husden. Like, ooh, girl, you been cheating on your husband?
So caller
Like that.
2.
Exactly.
What say you?
What'd you say? Listen, I was just calling to end this because it was absolutely horrible.
Oh.
No offense, Jake.
Hey,
Come
now,
on,
wow.
how dare
What are
you.
you doing?
Why are you bullying Jake?
Why are you bullying?
He's had a house flood.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
flooded. He lost his shirt. The toilet
Hello, self-esteem.
the toilet flooded his shirt out the doggy door.
So when your toilet was overflowing, Jake, it was just the bathroom. It wasn't a house flood, right?
It was actually it flooded my whole bedroom. We had to take all the curtains down and everything.
Oh my
Curtains.
God! Because the water will touch if your curtains are touching the floor.
Oh, they'll wick it up like a candle.
Yeah, it'll go right up. And if it's poo-poo, you'll just see
Yeah.
poo-poo climbing the walls. It is horrifying.
You use the Bubba shirt there, right?
I'll get you that information. I'll get you that information, Dan.
Okay, give me the
All right.
information.
Oh, Daddy Applesauce.
Yeah.
Bullied him right off the phone
Applesauce,
lines.
you hurt his feelings.
All right, I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, all
Hey,
right. Okay, bye-bye. All right, we're both gone. It ended horribly because we had another caller call and he bullied him. And he's like, "I'll get out of here. I'm sorry. I should never come here." It made me uncomfortable. Jake, I'll get you a shirt, buddy.
Now, what do you think Jake's scenario is at his house?
Oh, he's got a flooded bathroom. There's turds
Yeah,
on the.
yeah.
It's
Who else is living there?
Mom.
Okay,
mom.
Yeah, okay, mom's living
Grandma?
there.
Grandma.
Okay, grandma.
Mom or grandma.
There's definitely a grandma involved, right? There's a grandma.
Well, there was.
Yeah.
She recently passed. Very sad.
All right. Bye-bye.
Do we need to go?
Well,
No.
okay.
Tom wants to bail on this
Tom's
segment
freaking out.
quick.
Hey, remember Kratom Carey?
Correct.
Yeah. So he came on the show, and then after he came on the show, he called us up and he left this message.
Hey guys, my name's Kerry Edwards, and I wrote a short story about driving a taxi in Orlando during the recession of 2008, using different personalities to hide my shyness. It's a blast.
There you go.
That was it.
Yeah, that's it.
That was after he came on?
That's after he came on.
Oh,
He
that's-
called in and he didn't know where he was. And it sounds like he says Terry.
Yeah, it
I
did.
think we've been getting his name wrong for like a year. It's
That's
Kratom,
not what it says on his book.
I think it's Kratom Terry.
It's weird that the last thing he said was blast. That's the last thing we're going to hear when it comes back.
Like he's the Joker. He's like, did you read my book? It's a real blast. Like that. Let's talk about this one. This was just to bully you.
Tom Van for $1 million. Spell restaurant.
Well, you don't have $1 million, sir, but...
The fact that he's taking this long means he can't spell it.
Well, we know he can't spell it.
Hold on. It's R-E-S...
P-E-C-T.
T-R...
No.
Yeah,
It's not restaurant.
Yeah.
No.
That was real. My God. You were gonna calmly spell this and then sail into the distance, and you screwed it up. And now you that was awesome. You know what's awesome?
It's restaurant,
Hey,
not restaurant.
You know what's more awesome is that as he spelled it, and then you said wrong, and then I was like, yeah, he's wrong. I was like, is he? Like, I don't know. I'm not a spelling guy.
I was about to point towards the fence.
Point turds. I was about to point turds. Don't point turds, man.
God damn it.
We
That
never
burger I ate.
I know.
You're
I'm
crazy.
too happy now. Remember there was a guy that called in with a voice message. In the beginning, he said, F Dan. Let's do that guy.
Oh.
Hey, guys. I kind of got an issue with Dan at the moment. I see him, working out a lot and doing his bike and all that stuff. And, what are you doing, man? I thought we all agreed to just, get fat and wear hockey jerseys and stuff. You're making me feel bad about myself. It's like if Ralphie May lost 300 pounds.
It's not like that.
You're making me feel bad, man.
It's hurtful.
I want to just be fat and lazy. What are you doing?
So apparently I was the equivalent of Ralphie May.
Wow.
That's hurtful.
Yeah.
That's very, very hurtful. I get a lot of email from people that are like, what are you doing?
Oh, they're
You're riding
mad,
your gay little bike and you're up there pedaling.
I agree. When I see other people, that's why I don't like the motivational speakers or the super successful. Like when Rob Dyrdek tells me,
well, I can't take it from him.
No.
I'm sorry just because he's Rob Dyrdek.
Yeah, but when he tells
He makes me angry.
what it takes to be a good businessman, and then he lists off all the things that he does, it makes me mad because I'm like, well, that's impossible to do.
He always does this with his hands.
It's insane.
He always does this with his hands. Where he's got his hands together, he's like, this is the church, this is the steeple, turn it over and find all the people.
Mm-hmm.
He does that like a hand pyramid, and he's like, every morning I get up at 4 a.m. and I meditate. And then I go and I do a 30-minute bike ride warm-up, and then I do strength training. Then I do another meditation in my hyperbaric chamber. And it's just like, nobody can do that.
Yeah. Then I do an ice bath. And I do
nobody does that.
And then
Joe Rogan, too. I see him in his ice bath. And no one should be that red in an ice bath.
He's always red.
No one should be that red.
He can't not be red.
You can be a Joe Rogan fan. I don't care one way or the other. I like him, don't like what. I have no opinion. Other than you should not be that red.
See, I want to
in
be
an ice
red
bath.
brown. I don't want to be red.
Yeah, if you're Joe Rogan and you're that red and you get in an ice bath, you should turn blue or white, not red. He's bright, inflamed, hot red in the ice bath. I mean, you should be cooling off.
Well, the amount of tea that is
He's
flowing
so
through his body,
red.
he's got
and
a lot of
sweaty.
tea.
You shouldn't be that sweaty in an ice bath. Just literally red sweat.
It's just when you describe an insane, this is how you be, this is how you're successful.
This is how you be, and this is how I be, dog.
they're like, first, you can't drink alcohol. You have to, fast 12 hours, 3 times a week. Then it's work out this many times a week, and then wake up at 5 in the morning and make sure to go to sleep, and don't look at any blue light 3 hours before bedtime, and don't eat.
Miserable.
You're describing something impossible. We're too weak to do that.
It's impossible.
When Arnold tells you how to look like him, none of us can do that. I know it's physically possible to get close or whatever it is, but we can't do it.
I agree.
Why are you even telling us?
Yeah, it's too hard.
Yeah. You're I know David Blaine can explain how to do his magic tricks, but it took him an insane amount of time to train how to do them, and none of us could do that. Like Tom Brady doesn't need to tell me how to throw or be a successful NFL quarterback. We can't do it.
Yeah.
Quit telling us something we can't
do.
do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Instead of just do it, can't do it.
We got time for one more, I think. One more. Here we go.
Hey guys, this is Sean from Vegas. You guys were talking about the really old monk that looked like a scary monster. When I worked at Ruby Tuesdays at the Fashion Square Mall, I was probably like 19, 20 or 20. So like I had this couple that would come in, and they were the oldest couple you've ever seen. Like, and the man was so scary. He was like, I feel like he was at least 7 feet tall. He wore a powder blue suit, and I feel like maybe I'm misremembering it because it was like a scary movie, but I feel like his suit was dusty. His wife was also really old, had that scary old lady face, like from Annabelle. She's, it was the scariest thing. It was the scariest 2 customers I've ever had in my life. And they wouldn't say much. They were just very, he had a really deep voice. And eventually it just freaked me out so much that I had to get someone else to start taking that table because I couldn't even be around them. I thought, like, this is how they're going to look in 15 minutes when they die, but they're now currently walking around and ordering soup and salad. It was a scary experience, man.
Oh.
There is a point where all old people, and I'll see them out, and you're not allowed to make fun of them because you should respect your elders, but I start laughing at things, right? Like just sometimes I can't control it, and there is a point where all old men and women get to a point where all of them, I don't care what, like they reach a point where they all look a little yellow and they all smell a little like pee-pee, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're all wearing diapers.
He does bring up a good point. Like, they will look like this when they die because they're close.
Yeah.
So
they could be minutes away. You don't know.
It's the closest to zombies we'll ever get, right? Because they'll look exactly the same after they die or when they die, and they're old zombies.
Yeah,
they're scary.
You're exactly right. We all know what it's like to have that one. Like, I'm thinking of one right now. I can't say because I have relatives that listen to the show. And he just recently passed. But we had this one relative that would just we'd come to the party or to the gathering, and he'd be in a chair just sitting there, and you'd go up to him and you'd be like, "Hey, yada yada," and they'd be like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Oh my God," no, not even that. Just kind of like,
The best is when infants are scared of them.
Yeah,
because it's the most honest emotion.
Yeah, it is.
It's awkward. It's like, here, baby,
you're near death.
Go to grandpa, and they're scared.
Zombie grandpa.
They're scared of him, and then you're like, it's fine. Everybody's pretending like, he cries all the time. He's scared of you, grandpa, because you look like a zombie.
And old people,
you look scary. You have a scary face.
And old people's clothing starts to get an absorbent amount of little booger stains and little things on it because they have more more death.
It's falling apart.
They got more death juice coming out of their body, so a lot more boogers and a lot more snot, and they carry around little rags. So if you look at their suit, the reason it's not really dusty, it's not being taken care of because it can't.
Yeah, it's falling apart.
Yeah, it's falling apart. The suit. And then so you see a little booger snot here, a little, every pocket on my dad's suit coats when I was throwing them all out or taking them to Goodwill, every pocket of my mom's, sweaters and stuff like that all had tiny little booger rags in there. Every single one of them. Like there were 2 piles when I was throwing stuff out at my parents' house. There was one pile of clothing, and the other pile was just of their booger rags.
Bye-bye.